Hey, happy Tuesday, everybody. Good to see you all here again at the cafe. Thank you for joining us today. Hope you're all having a great day and you had a great night last night. Today, guys, we're jumping into it's a little bit of an older case, a couple years old, but we still need to bring the awareness to it and figure out what happened with Chance Englebert, guys. We're going to look into that today, as well as looking into Thomas Matthew Crooks, the gentleman that tried to take a shot at President Trump and see who he is. A little bit of everything today, a couple little back and forth, guys. There's nothing wrong with doing a couple different things. Two birds with one stone type thing. So thank you guys so much for joining me here today for that. And I want to make sure that everybody here, if you can, as you're coming through that door, make sure you hit that like button to get this up in that algorithm and keep YouTube happy. And please, if you know anybody that would want to talk about this as well with us, please share this out wherever you can, guys. Other than that, it's time to get the show on the road. Here we go. Well, I'm not going to say it because you know. Here we go. Let's go. What up, everybody? Hello and welcome back to the cafe. It's great to see you all. Thank you for being here today. And I hope you're all having an amazing day. As I said, guys, we're going to be looking into the missing case of Chance Englebert out of Nebraska. It's been going on for a couple years now. It's not brand new. And he's still missing. So I believe Arctic Fox covered this and a few other channels did too, but we need to bring the awareness in any way, shape, or form that we can. So that's what we're doing. And of course, we're going to look into Mr. Thomas Matthew Crooks. This is the shooter that took a shot at President Trump, guys, and look into him a little bit to see who he is and maybe why. We'll figure it out. Or we won't. Either way. Just saying. So thank you guys again for jumping in with us and joining us today for it. I appreciate you all so very much. More than you know. Yeah. So there's definitely some strange happenings that are going on in both of these cases, guys. You know what I mean? So thank you guys. Come on in, get comfortable, grab a place to sit, grab your coffee, tea, whatever you may have to be, and come in and talk with me if you will, guys. I appreciate that very much. I really, really do. Come on, come on, come on, come on in. Just wait for a little bit longer here and get a few peeps in here. I hope everybody's having a great Tuesday. For all you hard workers out there, I hope you're not working too hard. And I hope all you guys are staying cool. This is some hot, hot weather out here lately. Be safe, guys, and stay cool if you can, because it's no joke. Yeah, sorry, everybody. Come on in and hold on here. I got this thing's all twisted all up. Here we go. Yeah, the Chance Englebert situation is a very strange one. Again, out of Nebraska. I think we have JCN. She's out in Nebraska, so she's probably very familiar with this. She's in here regularly, so we're going to be looking at that situation as well. And I think a lot of people just want to know about why and who and why Thomas Crooks is, young kid to be doing what he did. Something's not right there. So that's you know what I mean. That's why we're gonna be looking at him as well and just keeping up with the times, as we always do. So let's see here. Come on, everybody, come on. Like I said, I just want to wait around just a few minutes to make sure we get everybody in here that wants to come in here. It takes people a little bit sometimes to get their notifications. You know what I mean? So just saying. I'd like to give everybody the chance they need to get in here. Excuse me. But while we're waiting on that, we can see who we got joining us as of right now. It looks like Miss Sherry's in the house. Wisdom Speaks. Welcome back to you, my doodlebug. Hello, dear. Kells 420's in the house. Welcome back to you, T2014. Always a pleasure to see you. Sunshine. Always happy to have you here. Kim North of 54th. I love that name. I just like saying it. Welcome back, dear. Good to see you. Miss Jules, hello to you, and thank you. I appreciate that. That's one of my favorites. Absolutely one of my favorites. Thank you for joining us, Kim and Jules. Appreciate you very much. There's Miss JC. Speaking of, right there. Hello, Miss JC. Good to see you. Mocha's in the house. Welcome back to you, Brandy B, the OG, right up there where she's always at. Thank you for being here, Brandy. Taylor with Stitch and Bitchin' and True Crime. Thank you so much for joining us today. I appreciate you very much. Salty Sleuth in the house. Hello, Miss Salty. Thank you for joining me today. Might have you join me even more if you're available. Aaron B, what's going on with you? Good to have you here. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us, brother. Absolutely, Miss Jules. Pleasure having you here, dear. I appreciate that you enjoy the channel. That goes for all of you that do. Thank you very much for that. WB's in the house. Good to see you. Good to have you here. Great to see you. I take it you another one that might be out of Nebraska. Miss Hope Floats is in the house. Hello, Miss Val. Thank you for joining us today. Music City Mom at number 2 is in the house. Good to see you today. Thank you for joining us. Sherry Ann, welcome back to you. Great to have you here. Bonnie M. Hello, Miss Bonnie. Wonderful to see you as always. Holly Ramsey, good to see you today. Great to have you here. Pagopolis, welcome back. And again, Pagopolis, welcome to the channel and the community. We appreciate you very much. And thank you for that. Bayou Babes in the house. Welcome back to you, Moni in the middle. Where's she at? She's in the middle. Welcome back to you, Moni. Thank you for being here. Yes, guys, I'm trying to bring back the daytime. I was just been doing so much stuff today I wasn't able to. So trying to bring it back to where I can do actually even earlier than what I did today. I'm trying to get it to where I can do them around 1 and then do the late show still too. So Princess Hot Pothead's in the house. Welcome back, Princess. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us today. Crimson Moon, hello. Welcome back. I hope you had a wonderful birthday yesterday. Thank you for being here today as well. Let's see. B. Williams, welcome. Great to see you. Michael 007, my friend. Great to see you today. Thank you for joining us. Steven's Adventures. Great to see you again, sir. Jax 215, hello. Welcome. Sorry about the sound, guys. I thought it was on. It wasn't. Bubba Tennessee, welcome to you. Thank you for joining us. Um, Andy Rose, always a pleasure, dear. Thank you for joining us today. I appreciate it. And that goes for all of the Blue Crew. Thank you guys so much for being here and doing what you do. I could not, would not, nor should not ever try to do this without you, and I won't. Thank you for joining me today, all of you. I appreciate you very much. Leslie and Billy, thank you for being here today. As always, it's a pleasure. Terry Martin, welcome back, dear. Great to have you. No sunshine. My hair. I think I cut my hair Sunday. Well, Saturday. Saturday was Saturday. I just combed it today. That's all. Thank you for noticing. SRB, welcome back to you. Great to see you. Great to have you here. Miss Evelyn, same to you. Granny Bassmaster, that's awesome. Welcome to you. Tree Baby Tennessee, great to see you today. Hope you're having a great day. Charlie, welcome. Good to see you. Good to have you here. Well, my goodness, already Miss Bonnie dropped a $5 super chat. Says the kindest man on YouTube. Who's that? I'd like to meet him. It can't be me because I don't think I am. I try to be, but I don't think I'm the kindest man on YouTube. But I appreciate that so very much, Miss Bonnie. God bless. Sleuth Investigates, welcome. Great to see you here. It is that damn hot. You ain't lying. Lisa B, welcome back to you. Or welcome to you if you haven't been here before. I see some new faces, and I appreciate you guys very much. We got plenty of room. And always, always, always love seeing new faces in here, guys. So thank you for that. No worries, Tree Baby. No worries. Again, guys, thank you so much for joining us today. Yeah, I try not to, Miss Kells, but because I'm not. Nobody should ever make you feel like they're above you. Ever, ever, because we're all the same. We all are no better than each other. Nobody's any smarter than each other. So no, that never ever should happen. All right, all right. That's all right. No worries, Michael. I understand completely, sir. I do. Thank you, SRB. Anybody interested in jumping into any of the true crime merchandise, True Crime Cafe merchandise, please check out that link right there. We got more things coming. I'm working on another. I'm not working on it, but I came up with an idea that we're trying to get together that I think everybody might like. I know I want one bad. I'm not going to tell you what it is till I see it, see if it looks right. But it should be another design for a T-shirt that, if it works, I think it's going to be really cool. I do appreciate that, Kels, very much so. And I appreciate everybody that's supporting this channel and still supporting me, you know, with all the crap that's happened and so on and so forth. That says a lot about you guys. It really, really does. And that means something to me. It really means a lot to me, you guys. So I appreciate that very much. Miss Sherry, thank you for that. And thank you to anybody that has purchased anything and sent it my direction from this wish list, guys. You have no idea how much that means as well. It's never anything we expect from anyone. But it's definitely helpful, and it's amazing to me, and it means a lot. So I want to thank you all once again for that so very much. And yeah, guys, I'm starting to drop shorts now. I'm trying to. So please, if you want to take a look at them, I would definitely appreciate that. Give it a like, share it out, whatever you want to do. But I appreciate that so very much because I'm trying to start running those now. I'm way behind the times on it. Trying to keep up. That's a good point. That's a very good point, Kels. Absolutely agree with that. I know, Michael, too much, and I'm trying not to. I'm trying to stay away from it. I am definitely trying to. Winnie the Pup, hello and welcome. Good to have you here. I'm not. Yes, I'm dropping new shorts. Not dropping my shorts. New shorts. Easy there, Tomboy. And welcome to you. And you know, Moni, that's awesome, and it really does mean the world to me to see that. I understand, Michael. I know, and I appreciate you, sir. Thank you, Jules. Very much appreciated. No, I promise you, I'm not dropping my shorts. Just dropping the new shorts. Um, and I figured out how to do it. No thanks to the awesome Doodlebug. She's been such a help in this community. She's very, very, very important to me and has done so much for me. Yes, that's exactly it right there, buddy. It's the best thing. I'm trying my damnedest to do it. Mm-hmm. Good point, Aaron. Yes. I hope everything's okay with Cass. Have you talked to Cass today, SRB? Everything okay with Lincoln and her? I hope so. Try to keep you guys all in my thoughts, especially those of you that are struggling from time to time with different things. Sleuths investigates, even though I'm under 40, this piece of well, thank you so much, hon. I appreciate that more than you know. And thank you so much for the 4.99 super chat. That means the world to me. I appreciate you more than you know. Okay, SRB. I just wanted to make sure everything was good. Yes, guys, please hit that like button so we can get this up in that algorithm, make YouTube happy. I appreciate that very much. That's so very awesome. Sleuths investigates. God bless. I really mean that. Thank you so much. More the words than the super chat. That's awesome to me. You guys are amazing. It's all right. It all keeps going after 40. No worries. Thank you, Brandy. I'm glad to hear that you're doing well. Absolutely. It's wonderful, wonderful to have this community together the way it is. Can somebody share why other channels refuse to move on to? Well, Terry, I can give you a little hint. I'm wonderful, Sunshine. Thank you for asking. If you look up here, we have 70 people in here. Okay. And we're talking about different cases. I try to bring something a little different every day. And if you go and watch the channels that play into some of this drama stuff and look at the numbers that they have, a lot of those people, they'll get 3, 4, 5, 1,200, 11, 1,300 people in their chat watching. That's one reason, in my opinion, that it happens that way. Unfortunately, it is what it is. I'm not going to do that just to get people to watch the channel. So be it. I can't, it's too stressful for me to get involved in that kind of stuff anyway, and that's not what I'm here for. I didn't come out here as a drama camel channel. Okay. I came out here doing true crime and trying to be a voice for the voiceless and to help to spread awareness to bring true justice to the victims in the cases that we talk about. That's why I'm here. That's why I've always been here. Yes, I've delved into and stepped into the drama time to time and done this and done that. I'm human, especially if it was relating to me. But at this point, it's just not worth it, guys. It's not worth it. And I'm not telling anybody what they should be doing, watching, or wanting to watch by any means, but think about it in the end. You came out here wanting to see, you came to these channels in this genre purposely wanting to see about crime and stories within crimes and crimes that are going on and the truth behind them. And a lot of stuff that mainstream media will not bring to you. That's what we try to do. In turn, that's what we're supposed to be doing. And I had to get back to that. I got away from that in some senses for a lot of different things, but it is what it is. So welcome, Ms. Michelle, Ray Baldick. Good to see you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. it can bring anxiety. It's caused me anxiety in my own channel. So let's see here. I have to share this. So remember when you had a stream talking about bringing awareness to missing kids in Walmart? My Walmart actually does have the posters, and they're by the bathrooms. Yes, that's where they've moved ours to now too. They used to be at the front doors, and now they're over by the service desk, and which is right next to the bathroom. So thank you for that, Sleuth. I appreciate that. It's good to know that at least they're up. That's good to know. And you're absolutely right, Doodle. Some of the stuff can be entertaining in some sense, but in the end, we have to step back and go, why are we supposed to be here again? This is not helping in any of these cases. It's not bringing any awareness. It's not that. It's not a good positive focus. You know what I mean? So that's why I had to back up and say, okay, hold on. Welcome, Jessica D. Thank you, Bonnie. Yes, Robert Bell, good to see you, and thank you for that, Bonnie. And that's true too. It can be entertaining and funny at times, but at what expense? That's the other thing too, though, is at what expense, Kels? Do you know what I mean? That's something that I had to think about. Is if I'm sitting here watching something and I'm agreeing with it or laughing along or making fun of something, what's the expense of it? You know, and I feel guilty. Thank you very much, Brandy. I appreciate that. So I started in the drama community at one point. You know what I mean? And it's like I did my thing. I did my time. I'm over here doing this, and I'm really trying to do something positive. Whether I am or not, I'm trying. That's my goal. So that's all I'm saying. Exactly. So it can cause adverse effects to these cases rather than helping with them with some of the drama. So I just don't want a part of that. You know, I can be, people can call me weak or soft or whatever the hell they want to call me. That's okay. I'll be that. But at least I'll sleep at night knowing that what I'm doing is not a negative thing. That's all I mean. Let me check, Jess. Hold on a minute here. Yes, I did, Jessica. Thank you for the email. I did get it, and I appreciate that very much. Thank you. Very much appreciated. Looks like Miss Kells has been a member now for one solid year. It's been 12 months. Congratulations, Miss Kells. And I appreciate you being in this community and part of this family for a whole year. That's amazing to me. God bless. You put it up with us for a year. That's absolutely just beyond amazing. And we appreciate you very much for that, Kels. Congratulations and happy day anniversary. Hopefully you'll be here for a whole other year. Hopefully. We'll see. That's amazing. I love it. I love seeing those long even if it's for a month. I love seeing it. SRB's been a member for 13 months. Oh wow. Hello. I gotta get my sound effects working again. That's amazing. Congrats, SRB. Thank you for being part of this family, this community, and this team. Actually, at that point, that's so amazing. And I have no words. It's awesome to see that. 13 months. We got Tomboy here at 9 months, but she's been here longer than that. I know for a fact. She's probably been here close to the same amount of time as Sherry has and Mama Bear, if not exactly the same amount. Congrats on 9 months plus, Tomboy. We appreciate you very much. And again, thank you for being part of this team. It is so very much appreciated. Very much appreciated to all of you. And we love having you guys in the community. You have no idea. Mitten says, Dago, your talk a few days ago, I think it was about just the smallest thing, like if you say hi to a person can affect someone and how a lot of people are lonely. Yes, I do remember that. It was very impactful. Well, I'm glad. I hope, because it's the truth. It's exactly how I feel too. So I hope it does affect somebody and impact somebody in that sense to realize that that's what it's all about, guys. We got to be here for each other. If we're not, what are we here for? You know what I mean? Honestly. So, yes. And I'm glad that that was impactful. I hope it was to more than just one or two people, guys. Those are true facts that come from my heart and my soul. So, that's how I feel about that. And thank you for that comment, Mittens. It means a lot to me. Very much, actually. Ray Baldick, again, congrats on 9 months. Good Lord, I didn't even realize it's been that long. I remember it's been a long time, it seems. That's crazy. But thank you so much for being with us, Ray. We appreciate you so much, and God bless. Hopefully, it's going to be another 9 months and then some. Yeah, Miss Brandy's going to be. Moni said she's been a member 8 months, but been here longer. I appreciate that as well. Brandy should be coming up on her 3 years now. She said yes. God bless America. It doesn't seem like it's been 3 years. It's crazy. Wow. Again, thank you, Mittens. That means a lot to me. It really does. It touched my heart. Thank you for that. Miss Bonnie said yes, it affected her as well. That's amazing. Well, you definitely won't be alone, Kels. As long as you're in here, we'll always be with you, dear. You know, you got family here regardless of the situation. There it is. Yes, 3 year anniversary. It's coming soon. It is coming soon, Brandy. God, I can't believe it's been that long. Guys, please check out Salty Sleuth's channel. There's a link for it. You will not ever be disappointed with what you get out of there. You definitely will appreciate the content. If you're going there looking for garbage and stupidity, just don't even bother. It's all facts and the real deal stuff in there, guys. So please go check it out, if you will. Echoes of Clarity, welcome. It's good to see you. It's a new name. And together we stand divided. Amen. And wise lady in here told me once, a very wise lady. I consider her to be the channel mother. She knows who she is. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Those are very wise words, guys. Keep that and heed that. Take it to heart. So, I have a lot of respect for that lady. She says some wise things on a regular basis. For sure. Granny Bassmaster. As a shut-in, I'm very grateful when you all say hey to me. Absolutely. I'm very grateful that you come here so that we can say hey to you, Granny. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Oh, Lord, another fly. I hate when flies get in here. Almost every day for a whole year, so you got to have a great community. Well, you're part of that community, Kels, and you're part of what makes it great, in my opinion. So it's wonderful. Hey, Spooky Paws. It's great to have you here. Great to see you. Come on in. We got 88 people in here with 72 likes, guys. So let's see if we can make that match or get it a little closer if we can, at least. I appreciate all the kind words from you all, too. Please know that. Going on 2 years. I know, Bonnie. Your thing has been messed up from the beginning. It really has. Bonnie's been here nonstop, even when she wasn't comfortable for a while, and I still appreciate you, Bonnie. I really do. Darcy Miller, hello and welcome. Good to see you. Michelle Noir, thank you for joining us today. Was actually a Malcolm X quote. That's awesome. Sleuth Investigates, welcome to the sauce. Appreciate you very much. And welcome to the family. We got another meatball in the house, guys. We got 2 new members already. It's very awesome. I'm right there with you, Michael. I really am. I'll never understand that. That's just not my cup of tea. No pun intended. because Michael's in the UK, you know. But it takes so much more energy, you guys, to represent hate than it does positivity. It doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense to me at all. There's so many other things we can do with positive energy than you can with negative, guys. It's just crazy. I'm a mini meatball because I had. Listen, you don't even have to become a member to be part of this community, Sleuths. Don't ever worry about that, dear. Please, please don't ever worry about that. Michael says, I drink coffee. See, there was no pun then. That's perfect, Michael. That's perfect. Steven's Adventure, congrats and welcome to the sauce. We got another meatball in the house, everybody. Steven, welcome, welcome, my friend. Thank you for jumping in this sauce and helping us spill a little bit of it every day. We appreciate that. We got 3 new members today. That's amazing. Hate energy is a huge waste. You are not lying, Echoes. That's a fact. That's absolutely right. What Sherry said, Sleuths, we don't care about that. We're just glad to have you here. Sure, Terry. Send me an email to remind me. We can definitely cover something about that. Yes, ma'am. I'm right there with you on that one. Coffee drinkers unite, 100%. Salute. Coffee is life, as far as I'm concerned. All right, guys. We got 85 peeps in here now. We got 74 likes. We're doing good. Hopefully, we get more people in here, but if not, so be it. I just like to get this out to as many people as we can, but she's doing wonderful, Michael. Thank you for asking. I appreciate that so very much. She's doing well, quite well, and I appreciate anybody asking for that matter. Thank you, and she'll appreciate that as well. It's okay, Kels. It'll work itself out. Either way you go with it. All right, all right, all right. All right. So, yes. Thank you, SRB. And again, thank you. And I didn't get to say it when it was up on the screen. Tell her Mr. Kane was asking. I will do that. I will. I will do that, Michael. I will definitely do that. She'll get a kick out of that. Um, what was I going to say? I want to thank anybody that has chose to support the channel uh, by donating, guys. That means the world to me. We don't expect any of you to do that via the Cash App, the Venmo, and the PayPal links. Please understand, we don't expect it, but we really do appreciate it. It pays the internet, the StreamYard, and all those bills, and keeps me going month to month. So thank you for anybody that does donate to those and has donated. You guys are godsends. I appreciate it so very much. Um, oh, okay. Reception dismantled. Gotcha. 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 That makes sense. I know who you are. I do. I do. Thank you, Miss Brandy, again. Check out the TikTok, guys. Anybody that is interested in TikToks, go check out our TikTok channel. Like it, if you will. I don't know how it all works because I'm not a big TikTok person, but I just have it over there for people that like to be on TikTok too. Again, two fingerprints. Right, right, right. Thank you, SRB, again for that. Leslie Petrulakis, thank you for joining us. Number 76. Appreciate you. Lori Facts, not feelings. Welcome to you. Pugopolis, no, but that's in. Have you added dog bandanas to the merch yet? That's interesting. I wouldn't mind having one for one of mine. Milo wears one, but Alfie doesn't have any. It'd be interesting if we even have those there. I'll have to check them out. For sure. Definitely, for sure. So, Let me get this rolling here in a minute. Now, the first thing I'm going to do, guys, because I want to support him as well, if we could please drop Arctic's link in chat, guys, I would greatly appreciate that. Arctic Fox put this out 2 years ago, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was. This is what we're talking about. The first case we're talking about today. This was the missing poster for it. Chance Englebert, 25 years old. Date of birth is December 3rd of 93. 5'10", 195 pounds, brown eyes, brown hair, hazel eyes. I'm sorry. Chance was last seen when he left home on foot around 7:30 p.m. July 6th of 2019 in Gehrig, Nebraska. I'm sorry, Gehrig, Nebraska. He was last seen wearing a short sleeve Wrangler shirt, Wrangler jeans, Roper boots, a black and white trucker style cap, and Chance has a scar on his hip, and that would be Chance right there. For sure. Thank you, Andy, for dropping, and SRB for dropping Arctic's link. I have to have him drop it next time he drops in here, Sherry. I don't have that actual link. He brings it with him every time. Welcome, Shauna and LM. Good to see you. Arctic is amazing, guys. He's has a very great channel. He puts out very good quality content and has to help the missing and for a long time. And I have a lot of respect for him and appreciate him. And he is a very close friend to this community and this channel. So he's actually one of my moderators as well. So guys, please check out his channel if you have not. Again, another amazing channel. He's just an amazing person all the way around. And I really appreciate and love Arctic a lot. And respect him for a lot of reasons, guys. So but we have to, is that it right there, Sherry? Yes, thank you. Is that the actual thing? The link? Check this out, guys. He's been working for years now on trying to get the Amber Alert system changed around. And if how did you get that, Sherry? Because I thought he had that. Either way, it doesn't matter. I'm glad you have it. So thank you for dropping this link. Click on this link, guys. It's a change.org situation to get the Amber Alert system changed up because it doesn't need to be the way it is. If you're a child from the age of 0 to 18, in my opinion, you need to. He just gave it to you. Okay, good. Thank you. The Amber Alert system needs to go out for any child that goes missing at any time for any reason, runaway or no runaway. Boom. Facts. That's just the way it should be. And it has to be changed. They have too many little stipulations and stupid things that go along with this. If a child is missing, a child is missing, and it's a problem. It needs to be that way, guys. So we need to be the ones to try to make that change. And we can do these things, guys. If you haven't noticed, we talked about it before. Mind the Monsters mom that comes in here, another very, very close personal friend to this channel and family member again, has made changes to laws, guys. So we can do things if we use our voice for good things. Again. So please click that link. Sign it if you haven't. Let's get this changed over, guys. It needs to happen. It really does. Mama Bear. Hello, Mama Bear. Thank you for being here, dear. We appreciate you very much. Hope you're having a wonderful day. We do miss you. I hope you're not working too hard. Yes, you definitely can drop that link in here for sure. I'm grateful for that. Thank you, Sherry, so much. It's not giving you a place to sign. I did it last time we dropped it in here. That's when I got to sign it. Yeah, I do agree with that, Tomboy. It needs a complete overhaul. It's a very good point. Very good point. Super excited to be in here with you guys today. I love seeing the interaction in the community. Of course, I wish there was more of us in here, but you know, I'm grateful for who is here and how you guys are interacting. That means a lot to me. Uh-oh. We might get a mama bear sighting if she chooses to join me for today. Maybe, maybe not. Either way. I hope you didn't work too hard today, Bear. Yeah, if not, let me know, SRB, and I'll talk to him when I can and see, what the deal is with it and see if we can get it fixed. So if you are not too tired, Mama Bear, you know you're welcome to join me up here at any time if you feel like it. So again, guys, this is Chance Englebert, been missing since 2019, guys. So that's a long time, too long. CZ, welcome. Good to see you. Why does the billboard have a 724 area code? That is PA. If he went missing from Nebraska. Yeah, that is definitely Pennsylvania. Hermitage and Sharon and Hickory and all them places. I don't know. That's weird. Good afternoon, Miss Stormy. Thank you for joining us. It's great to have you here. It is definitely crazy. We're going to get into that here after we do Mr. Engelbert first, but 5 years. I know, Michael. It's a long time, and there's nothing, That's a good question, though, CZ. I am curious. I'm going to have to look into that a little bit. Yeah, I'll check in. I'll check in with him and see what he says, SRB, and then we can redrop it. I know he's been doing some stuff lately. He's been busy, but we'll hook up with him. So again, this is Chance Engelbert, guys, 25 years old, 5'10", 195 pounds, brown hair, hazel eyes, and he's been missing since July 6th of 2019. Last wearing a short sleeve Wrangler shirt, which kind of like this here. Wrangler jeans, rubber boots, and a black and white trucker style cap. So basically what he's wearing right here is what he was last seen in. Get a good look at his face there. So he's 30 years old now. 5 years ago, guys. I'm sure his facial appearances haven't changed much. So there is that. The poster. And again, thank you, Arctic, for putting that up, buddy. You are appreciated, brother. Now, let me back this up real quick to the next scenario. Hold on here. I'm going to review telling some stories about Chance. This is from 5 years ago. This next video we're going to look at here, and then we'll move forward from there. Well, actually, you know what? No, I'm going to tell you the story first, and then we'll go into that. So hold on a minute here. Hold on. Hold on. I'm struggling with my own thoughts, guys. How about that? Okay. Now this comes from I'm bringing this content to you via a channel called The Missing Truth. If we could drop that link, guys, in chat, I'd be grateful. And here we go. Let me know if the audio is okay, guys.
Chance Engelbert was the typical all-American boy growing up in the area of Edgemont, South Dakota. He is the oldest son of Everett and Dawn Engelbert, who own and run their own ranch. His love for horses was evident as a young boy, whose love for the rodeo was an attraction he could not ignore.
Welcome, Dakota.
Chance became an avid bareback rider, and his dream of becoming a professional in the rodeo was in his sights and grasps. This is Chance's story through the eyes of strangers. In 2000,
Welcome, voice. I don't have a lot on this. I looked for as much as I could find, voice. You have the search videos done on this. I don't think I do, but thank you for reminding me of that and bringing that up. I'll have to keep looking for those. And I appreciate you being here, voice. I just feel like this hasn't gotten a lot of attention lately, and it really needs to be looked at again because it's been 5 years. You know, it's a long time. But thank you for joining us, and I appreciate you asking about that. So I'll have to go try to see if I can find that. Worked with his wife, Bailey. That's all amazing. So amazing. That's the only real like storytelling thing I could find from back then. Now I do have hold on a minute. I do have this too. Maybe this will be better. I wanted to give you guys like a beginning to end or beginning to now type story scenario, and I couldn't find much. So I'm going to break this up then, and I'll do this for you guys. Let's go with this one. We'll go from there. Like I said, it's hard to find good stuff in here on certain cases, especially the older ones. You know what I mean? Well, that's not good. Well, let's try this and see what we can get out of this one then.
Tonight on our Missing series, it is a case that appears tragic on the surface, but becomes complicated as you dig deeper. The disappearance of Chance Englebert has left the town of Gering, Nebraska frustrated. The father and husband vanished in July of 2019. More than 2 years later, after continued searches, there has been no sign of Chance. But concerns continue to grow that something bad may have happened. Tonight, you are going to see exclusive surveillance video of the last time that Chance was seen and hear from nearly everyone involved in this case.
Oh, okay, I got
Here is
you, boy.
investigative correspondent Rich McHugh.
25-year-old Chance Englebert was a cowboy at heart. Putting himself through college on a riding scholarship.
Pretty good to get that book on.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. First one from college.
Thank you again, voice. I'm going to write that
In
down.
2018, he married Bailey, and they had a baby boy, Banks. The future was bright.
He was looking forward to a new job at a propane company in Moorcroft, Wyoming, where the couple lived. But then, tragedy.
During a 2019 4th of July trip to Bailey's hometown, Gering, Nebraska, Chance Englebert vanished.
So we have people searching, walking along the canal now.
According to Gering police, on July 6th, Chance was golfing with Bailey's family, and Chance got upset over comments how he'd be making less money at his new job. According to Bailey, Chance called and said he wanted to leave, wanted to go back home to Wyoming. She picked him up and drove to her grandparents' house in Gering. And that, she said, made him more upset. He got out of the car and started walking away. He called his friend and best man, Matt Miller.
So, Matt, you were the last person that Chance called. Is that right?
Yeah.
What did he say?
Well, he said he got in a fight with his in-laws, and he was wanting to come back to Wyoming to his house here in Moorcroft and needed a ride immediately. That was 4 hours away. There's just no way I could make it.
When you spoke to him that night, did he sound intoxicated?
No, he sounded upset.
Matt spoke with Chance's mother, Dawn.
So after Matt called, we reached out a couple times, his aunt, his uncle, my husband, just kind of waited out.
But Chance did not answer. Surveillance footage obtained by News Nation shows Chance Englebert walking through Gering around 7:50 p.m. that night. In the video, you can see Chance look at his phone and then take a 90-degree turn left, as if following a map.
That last snippet of video, what do you see?
I see a kid that had a mission and he knew he wanted out of town.
An hour later, a powerful storm passed through Gering with lightning and high winds. Around that time, at 9:08 that night, a text sent from Chance's phone to his aunt with an expressionless or annoyed face emoji and a confusing mix of letters. Then, according to the local sheriff, Chance's phone went dark.
Nothing on his phone after 9:08, nothing.
The next morning, Bailey filed a missing persons report. Family and friends mobilized immediately on foot, using drones, scouring the treacherous landscape.
Bailey and Banks. We just ask anybody to send any information.
2 years later, still no answers.
I see the video of him walking down the street on the surveillance cameras, and I replay that every day thinking I'm going to figure out where and why. But nothing's coming yet.
So this is still an active investigation.
It is, very much so.
Brian Eads is the lead investigator on the case for Gering Police.
Do you think that we're dealing with a homicide or simply somebody who might have had a tragic accident?
We always try to treat things as a homicide until they're proved otherwise.
I'll tell you what, if you're interested, once I get through this, if you'd be interested in joining me up here, maybe we could have a little talk about it. That's, of course, up to you.
At this point, there's no evidence to show that it is a homicide, but there really isn't any evidence to show that it's not either.
Investigator Eads says they've enlisted outside agencies, K-9 teams, they have conducted search warrants, polygraph tests, and still chased down leads.
Early on, the theory was that Chance fell into the river. Is that still one of the theories?
It's still one of the theories. His last known proximity was in close proximity to the river.
This is Martha Road, so we know that Chance turned here and he would have walked down this way.
Amanda Waldron is a volunteer investigator with We Help the Missing, a nonprofit team of private investigators dedicated to locating missing persons. We're at Terry Lake, near where that camera caught the final images of Chance.
So in addition to the river, this is one of the other kind of bodies of water that they say is strong possibility.
Yes, we know that Chance walked down the road right here in front of this body of water. There was a storm that night. It was raining. The weather was bad. So that has kind of led to believe that water could have been involved.
Another belief is that Chance's disappearance was no accident.
Some people say, look, there was a powerful storm that night. The river was at its all-time high. It's a very good chance that he ended up in the river, and it's a tragic accident. What would you say?
I'd say Chance was born and raised for that kind of weather. There's just no way it could take him.
So you don't buy for a second this idea of a tragic accident?
Not even a second, no. We put hours and hours and hours down there walking river bottoms, and I don't think he's in a river. I think he's buried underground and he's hidden. If he got hurt by that storm, Mother Nature doesn't hide a body like that.
Chance's disappearance has completely divided Chance and Bailey's family and friends. Dawn says she hasn't seen her grandson Banks in over 2 years.
Are you in touch with his wife, Bailey?
No.
Why?
From her text messages that she wants nothing to do with me. She hates me. She blames me for everything that happened with Chance.
I'd love to have an hour sit down with Bailey, for sure. That's the only person I'd like to talk to.
Chance's wife, Bailey, declined to be interviewed on camera for this story because she says she's received death threats and fears for her safety because she says there's a lot of false information and accusations against her family. She did speak with me at length, calling Chance's disappearance and the mystery around it absolutely devastating, and says she continues to work with the police. Quote, I told cops everything that I know. I've been completely transparent with them. I've never hid anything from anybody involved with it. They just don't like the answers that I have to give. We invited the police into our homes to do searches, and we were all cleared by PD long ago.
Investigator Eads says Bailey has been forthcoming from the start.
All of the family members have been interviewed. All of their properties have been searched by law enforcement.
In a case shrouded in mystery, Bailey said she hopes for some sort of clarity soon.
I can look at different facts of the case, she said, and how he was as a person and essentially drive myself crazy with what could have happened or what did happen. But at the end of the day, I don't have any answers. I'm really ready for the day that we do have answers, though.
Chance's family continue to search and have raised over $17,000 in reward money.
I need people to know, and he needs justice. I don't know who did it to him. I honestly don't. I hope it's a stranger. I just want people, somebody knows. You see this town, it's small. Somebody's seen something. Somebody knows something.
And the mystery continues. Rich McHugh is joining us live tonight. Rich, what stood out to me in reading about this case were the in-laws and this apparent argument that may have taken place between them and Chance. What are they saying tonight about his disappearance in the case?
I've only been able to speak with two people on Bailey's side of the family, Bailey and her mother, Tracy. And I will say that even those conversations were hard to come by. I was speaking to Tracy for a while, and their position is the same. They are very reticent to speak. They are because of there's so much information that's on the internet and that's been talked about that they say is false and has caused them great danger, they say. And so they say, look, they have nothing to hide. And as Bailey said, she's been very forthright with the police, and they say that as well.
Mm-hmm. And Bailey spoke to you off camera. You know, you got to hear her voice, but, you know, the public hasn't. You know, in watching that story, you can't. So what was your impression of Bailey, how she's doing, what more she said?
You know, this is a conundrum, Marnie. I was trying to speak with her for the greater part of about a month. And finally, just yesterday, I was able to connect with her. I think she was waiting to see, you know, what type of story I was putting together. I think she was incredibly nervous. Everybody that I spoke to in this story on both sides, and even the authorities, I think were nervous to speak about this because it's caused such a rift. But she was reticent. She was nervous. She was very careful with her words, but she was also very honest, and she answered every question that I had. We spoke for probably about half an hour, and you know, it wasn't a fun conversation, and I didn't sense tremendous emotion in her, but at the same time, she's been living with this for 2.5 years, in this kind of this mess.
Two families impacted, and Chance has just vanished. Before I let you go, Rich, that text message is very odd. It's hard to decipher what that means. Did the family or anybody close to Chance have any theories about what he may have been trying to say or what was going on there?
They don't know. They, you know, in one sentence, they say they don't believe that Chance even sent that text message. And the next, you know, you hear from Dawn, his mother, and she says that she truly doesn't know. So they're just they have no idea. They don't understand why he wouldn't respond or why they couldn't connect with him, and the whole situation simply does not add up to them, and they are just devastated
and desperate for answers. Rich McHugh, as always, appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Marty.
And if you have any information about the whereabouts of Chance, contact the Gering Police Department. They're on the case. That number on your screen tonight. Thanks for.
All right, guys, hang. Now that interview came up 2 years ago. Well, yeah, 2022, and that. Hold on a minute. My apologies, guys. Hold on here. I wanted to. At some point, it was brought out that the cell phone lead was the best. Cell phone data was the best lead in the case at some point with this one, but 2 months ago. No, I'm sorry. My apologies. I'm reading two different things at one time. 11 days ago, there was an update on this. Okay, after 5 years, and the lead investigator spoke out a little bit, and I'm going to show you that, and then I'm going to bring. She says that she'd be willing to join us up here, Voice for the Voiceless, who did work in this case a lot, I guess, from my understanding at this point, and obviously she'll have some more that she can offer person to person on this, guys. I think that would be the best way to cover this. I'd rather have firsthand information to give you guys, because like I said, I could only find certain things on this, and I wanted to bring you the best of the most about what I could. So that would be the best option, in my opinion.
Private investigator Ryan Daniel, who is helping in the ongoing search for Chance. Private investigator Ryan Daniel, who is.
Let's try it one more time. Here we go. This should be good.
Investigator Ryan Daniel, who is helping in the ongoing search for Chance Englebert. Thank you for your time. I want to start with this convenience store and a possible sighting of Chance just a few miles away from where he was seen on that surveillance video. Tell me more about what happened that night and the authenticity of that lead.
So this lead that came from the convenience store clerk actually surfaced the first week after Chance went missing. Don't know why it may have got overlooked, but by going back through a lot of evidence and a lot of witness interviews, it kept coming up about the convenience store clerk that allegedly saw Chance. We were focused on the WTT because that's the area that his phone last pinged, but come to find out, this clerk was not working at the WT. He was actually working at a convenience store about 2 blocks north of the WTT. So that was a new lead for us.
So how does that change the investigation? And what do we know about the encounter at the convenience store and Chance's state of mind?
Well, according to the clerk, Chance was actually in a good state of mind. He didn't appear to be heavily intoxicated. It did confirm to us that he was actually out walking during the storm due to his shirt being wet. Additionally, it is believed that Chance was having a tense but not heated conversation in the back of the store while looking at drinks to buy. The convenience clerk was able to identify the actual drink and can of tobacco that Chance purchased with cash prior to leaving. And it does help us with our timeline. According to the clerk, we believe it was between 8:30 and 9 p.m. that night.
And where do we think he went after that? Do we know?
The clerk believes that he started heading back south. Evidence that we have gathered during this investigation indicates that we do have an area of incident, possibly where Chance went missing, down there by Stable Club and 5 Rocks Road, also at the junction of Owl Road. So if he did leave the store at 8:30, between 8:30 and 9, that would put him down there in that area, which we believe not only the area of incident, but the area of time, which we believe Chance's disappearance is focused on between 9 and 9:15 p.m. that night.
There's another lead here, Ryan, and that is a couple people who may have been around Chance that night, may have encountered him that have nothing to do with his disappearance, but who may have seen something. Tell me about what you have found and the people potentially that you're looking to talk to.
So we had a witness that contacted the tip line. The witness indicated that between somewhere around 9 to 9:15, maybe 9:10 p.m. that night, 2 females in their mid-20s, both wearing jean shorts and a black top and a white top, were seen running down from the railroad tracks that cross over 5 Rocks Road, or also known as Avenue I. These 2 females appeared to be frantic, in a state of panic, and they were actually attempting to stop traffic on 5 Rocks Road. They continued to run down 5 Rocks Road and headed north towards where the auto dealership used to be, the used auto dealership. Once there, they were picked up by a small white 2-door truck pulling a metal boat on a white trailer. According to an additional witness that was there, so now we have 2 witnesses, these 2 females appeared to know who the driver of the truck was, and they got inside. This is important to us because we believe that this being the area of incident and the time that Chance went missing, between the 9 and 9:15 time, we have questions. You know, what did you see that night? What spooked you? What made you nervous? Why were you trying to stop traffic? We think possibly they may have seen Chance. They may have seen somebody out that night. That time frame and where Chance was when he went missing, we need to narrow down.
Yeah, and it could be critical to understanding where he went that night. You know, I think what is so mysterious and peculiar about his case, he was young, he was healthy, and he seemingly just vanished. I know you have to pursue a lot of different theories. Is one of them foul play? And are you leaning towards that in your investigation?
Of course, in my line of work, we never rule anything out. It's unfortunate, but foul play is still on the table, yes.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click
All right, guys. Sorry. Okay. Let's go ahead and see if we can have Voice join us starting here, and then we'll go into the rest of it after the point. So I'm gonna drop this link just for her at this point in the chat. All right, Voice. There's a link in chat for you, dear. Welcome, Kaylee. Good to see you. I do question the fact that if these are two credible witnesses, these two girls that are talking about, why are they being put out through mainstream media per se, and why has LE in a sense allowed for that to happen? That's my question, to be honest with you. That can be a problem, because then they can be spooked if they're already not. You know what I mean? Hello, welcome.
Hey, hi, welcome.
Can you hear me okay?
Thank you. Yeah, I can hear you just fine. Can you hear me fine?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, you're welcome. You're welcome. So this is the case that brought me to YouTube.
Yeah.
This is seriously the case that brought me to YouTube. Because
Gotcha.
I had been working with Bailey and trying to help to combat the harassment on social media that she had received.
Sure.
There was a former state senator out of South Dakota named Lynn DeSanto that had actually showed up at her door in February after Bailey had declined 3 times to be spoken to. Lynn took it upon herself, driving 437 miles out of her way to show up at Bailey's door live on Facebook and show everything: the house, the cars, the license plates, everything. So I worked with Bailey to get a restraining order against Lynn DeSanto.
That's ridiculous. Completely doxed her in a case like this. That's insane. But anyway,
Right.
okay.
We have a single mother who was 19 years old when she had just given birth.
Yeah.
Her husband went missing. And now, not even a year later, we have a former state senator from South Dakota live on Facebook. Now, that you need to type in your search bar on YouTube, type in the search for Chance Englebert. It will bring up the news articles from day one. It'll bring up Matt's interview with Lynn DeSanto. It'll bring up Aunt Katie's interview with Lynn DeSanto. It'll bring you up 5 pages of stuff. The best interviews that are out there are going to be from Ed Densel at the Unfound podcast.
Gotcha.
Let me put this link for you in back chat.
Yes,
This
ma'am.
is the search that was done. Oh, I don't want to put it. I don't want to create a post. This is actual footage from the K9 team in September that came in.
Okay.
This is Karen Tarquin, and this actually has a map in it. Here's the one thing I will tell you. I was contacted by that PI, Ryan Daniels, 3 weeks ago. Right? Oh, thank you, guys.
Okay.
I was contacted by Ryan Daniels 3 weeks ago, and I clarified for him that information about the 2 girls running down the road.
Yeah.
One in black, one in white, getting into a white 2-door pickup truck, pulling a boat. That came from Trudy Domson, and it's rumor in a Facebook group. I'm very, very disappointed that a legitimate PI worth his weight went out and put a speculation like this after I gave him all of the proof where that rumor came from, how it was started. And I'm super disappointed to hear that it's not accurate information.
Agreed.
Because we know where that came from, and that actually happened way earlier in the afternoon. Actually, about the time that Chance and Bailey would have been driving home from the golf course.
Gotcha. Okay.
The golf course was in Baird, Nebraska, where they golf for the afternoon. Here's the other part about all of this. I know exactly how much money Chance had because I've seen the bank records, right? There wasn't enough money in his account to buy anything at that point in the evening. There was no money in the account. The last of the money that he had in the account was spent at Murdoch's at 2 p.m. that afternoon, buying the shirt that he has seen in that photograph. That is the last photograph. That is from a Snapchat that was taken on the golf course that day.
Okay. Gotcha. Interesting.
And I can tell you that Matt Miller has made more money than God himself off the disappearance of his so-called best friend. That on Chance's 30th birthday, Matt finally admitted that Matt wasn't Chance's best friend, but Chance was Matt's best friend. So that's a total different thing, right?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Absolutely. I got you now.
Be good buddies with somebody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that makes sense. I got you. Interesting. So you said if you type in the search for Chance Englebert
into YouTube, you will bring 5 pages of stuff up. Again, Ed Densel at the Unfound podcast has one of the most legitimate ones. You have to understand that 90% of these that are out here are biased against Bailey.
Mm-hmm.
They come after Bailey because Bailey was 19 years old, and a 19-year-old woman who just lost her husband with a baby and no income while going through nursing school made a comment of, well, do I get a death certificate? Because her mother and the family said, you need to ask about that.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Gotcha. So why is everybody so biased towards her? Is it because of that alone, or?
Well, because Bailey has kept her, because Bailey hasn't spoke publicly. She spoke publicly once, and then there has been so much hate. Put it this way. Bailey's stepfather's boss's daughter had to have concrete dug up at her home because they thought that they put Chance's body in a piece of concrete the size of your front door, Dago.
Jesus. This girl did this on her own, all by herself.
Yes, 3 months after naturally giving birth and weighing 110 pounds.
Yeah, okay. I can see that happening. Jesus. Wow. I swear some people have no...
And listen, when I came out here, when I first found this, I just knew in my heart of hearts that Bailey did something to Chance. And then, guess what? After me, myself, pulling property tax records, going through Zillow, looking through everything that I possibly could, I realized one night, oh my God, what if I'm helping somebody?
Yeah.
His disappearance.
No, absolutely.
And I was forced then to contact the family and tell what I've done. And from that moment forward, I have stood up for what is right.
Good for you. That's awesome. I'm glad. I like seeing when people do these kinds of things in these cases to try to help actually do something and stand with.
Well, Bailey's the reason I became an advocate, because she needed a certified advocate on her team. And that's the reason I became an advocate.
That's awesome. That is absolutely amazing. That's good to hear. And I appreciate that you do that and have done that.
Only for missing people in my state. I did that for Bailey because Chance and Bailey were Wyoming residents.
Yeah. Gotcha.
The harassment has been so bad that people have called the nursing board on Bailey, put complaints on her nursing license saying that she killed her husband. Bailey was forced to move out of the home that she and Chance bought. Bailey was forced to sell all of the vehicles. Her nursing school was impacted. Bailey had people that used to wait outside of classes and follow her to her car, taunting her, saying that she killed her husband. Yes. Bailey, B-A-Y-L-E-E, Bailey has been, from 19 years old, her life has been turned upside down.
Meanwhile, trying to raise this child by herself and dealing with the fact that her husband is missing. And yeah, I mean, come on. Wow.
And the other side of the family, there's been close to $80,000 raised. Bailey has had one fundraiser. They have continued to have numerous, and never once did they make an attempt to see their grandkid. Never once. No calls, no letters, no cards. Never. They never even shipped Christmas presents. They kept their Christmas presents, and it's in Dawn's interview. Nope, we still got his Christmas presents. Well, guess what? You bought Christmas presents for an infant, and he's now a toddler. Do you think those are going to even fit?
Right, exactly. That's ridiculous. Let me pause just for a second to say thank you, Jane Bosch. Just gifted 5 memberships to the cafe. And looks like B. Williams, Courtney Marie, Voice for the Voiceless received one. Elizabeth Lander, Thomasina. And I think that's yes. So welcome to the sauce. Congratulations. And I appreciate that so very much, Jane. We got some new meatballs in the house with us, guys. So congrats and welcome. Thank you very much again, Jane. That's so very much appreciated.
It's very kind of you, Jane. Thank you for supporting Dago in this.
Yes, absolutely. Please. And thank you both. So
Okay,
again, go ahead.
Ed Stencil for the Unfound podcast. That's the one if you want to do the research on it, because Ed is wickedly smart, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you look at that one. I know I was part of this search for the video that I put in back chat. This is a great video, and it has a map, and there's times on it. Like, you have to pause it at the right moment because it only blips for just a moment, right?
Gotcha.
But I mean, I am part of this team that was there while this was being filmed.
Absolutely. I actually have this. Okay, yeah. Oh, I know that name, Karen Tarquin. Okay. Very interesting. Hold on a minute here.
She's one of the canine PIs that I work with.
Right. Yeah, I've heard her name before. Hold on a minute. Let me see if I can actually bring this up. Here we go. Interesting. Okay. Well, I can run this here. So thank you for that very much. And I pulled up the podcast, and I'm bringing it down, uploading some of those right now as we speak for that. So yeah, I just fell into this a couple days ago, and I'd heard the name a couple times, but with all these other cases and stuff like this, I came into YouTube on Brian Laundrie's case and Gabby Petito. So I haven't had a chance to look at some of this older stuff that still needs to be looked at and brought awareness to, and so on and so forth. So this is one of the ones that I definitely think needs to have a little bit more, needs to be seen a lot more, because there's nothing being done on it. So that's kind of where I'm at with what I'm doing.
Here's the other part of that, Dago. Once you go through everything, and you start to actually listen to the factual parts of it, and you stay out of the rumor and the gossip and the speculation, the innuendo.
Yeah.
If 9 dog teams tracked him to the same location, and I will show you that location in this video. It is marked in this video with a rock.
Absolutely. That's awesome.
9, and see, here's the other thing that you have to take into consideration. At this time, it was one of the wettest summers that Nebraska had ever seen.
Okay.
Water levels were an extreme high. And when this hit, again, nobody truly knows what has happened, but there have not been anything that indicates foul play, right? They've come off from the top, from the jump, and said that.
Okay. There
has not been anything to indicate foul play. And his phone had a catastrophic water event at 10:02. He had an iPhone.
Yeah.
Yes.
Was that when he was walking through the storm, per se?
He would have already been through the storm. Well, you're going to see it in this. Let's watch this, and then we can go from that. But yes, there was a catastrophic water event. That they're picking and choosing on what they're putting out on this.
I got you. Yeah, well, which they do with most of these cases, sadly, and build their own narratives as compared to what the truth actually is. And that's kind of why I try to do what I do, to try to find that medium in the middle where the truth usually lies, and try to pull it out of there. So yes, I appreciate you so very much jumping up here to help us with this today.
I would do this for anybody, because I'm doing this because of Bailey and for Trace. Yeah, I want to make sure there's been enough bad information and biased information come out.
And that's what we definitely want to avoid. So thank you again. I appreciate this so much, as does the community, I'm sure. So getting the truth is the most important thing on these cases. So hello, Miss Cassie, and congrats on 12 months again. Appreciate you being in this community and part of the sauce and part of this team, Cassie. So thank you so much for that, and congratulations. All right, guys. Let me know how the audio is on this, everybody. If there's anything needs changed, just let me know, and I will fix it for you. Here we go. Real quick for the mods and everybody else in here, this footage was put out via Karen Tarquin. You can see it right here. That's where we're streaming.
You can drop that link. You can drop that.
Yeah, if we can drop that, I'd appreciate that, mods, very much. I like to give credit where credit's due. So.
And Karen always appreciates this, as long as it's not used as a negative towards Bailey. And while I'm sitting up here, I already texted her and said, hey, I'm going to hop up and make sure that your casework is put out there. So
absolutely. And I tell her, I thank her for her work as well. It's so very much appreciated. Please.
So at the same time they were doing this, then they also went, there was another guy who went missing, Chris Lupin, not long after that. And it wasn't very far from where Chance went missing. So there's also a second video that has Chris and Chance It's a Chance Englebert update, as well as Chris Lupin, Loupin.
Gotcha. You know, that last name sounds really familiar. Absolutely. Thank you. Okay. All right. On we go. On we go. Sorry, Doodle. It's Karen, Karin, Tarquin, Tarqwyn. The Canine PI is the channel name, Doodle. Thank you, dear.
She's a legitimate Canine PI. She's not a Jules. She's not a Steph.
Right.
You can look her up. She's fully accredited. She has Facebook. You can call her. She'll go over all of her credentials. This is a legitimate Canine PI.
The real thing,
She also does missing search work for missing animals as well.
Okay. Well, that's interesting.
Actually what pays the bills. Because how do you charge for working with a family other than covering travel costs, right?
100%. Yeah, absolutely. There it is. Thank you, Andy. Right there's the link, guys. Check out the channel if you will. Please check it out. Subscribe. Just show a little bit of respect, and for what she does is it's a lot. So absolutely. Thank you again, Andy, very much. Thank you, Doodle.
Okay, so they got a scent article from Bailey.
Uh-huh.
And it was dirty socks.
Gotcha.
So this is right when she's walking away from the truck.
Mm-hmm.
She has just given Jet the scent. This is in front of Bailey's grandparents' house. We're purposefully not showing the home. That's not the home. The home is actually back where you and I are sitting.
Okay.
Purposefully not showing the home to protect privacy, because the home had already been, the address on O Street in Gearing had already been broadcast everywhere. They had Zillowed it, gone through the whole house, everything.
Gotcha.
What had happened was Chance wanted to go home. Bailey said, fine, we got to stop back by my grandparents to get the car seat, clothes, everything. She ran in, handed Banks to her grandma to say goodbye. She ran downstairs to grab everything up. She hauled the first load up, set things by the front door, looked out the door. She saw Chance. She went back downstairs, came back upstairs, looked, and couldn't find Chance. She made sure that Banks was settled. The car, it was hot. There was no air conditioning.
Okay.
And she drove out. She went out to kind of drive around and look and see if she could see him anywhere. And she never found him. And then a storm hit. She was forced to be home, and they had to wait until morning. She knew when he didn't come in by 4 a.m., she knew something had happened.
Something's wrong. Yeah.
Home. He might be working out in the garage on his derby cars. He might have gone out with his best friend, Matt Miller, to the bar, all those things. But he always came home. Always, always, always came home.
So something definitely happened then.
Well, and no debit card usage, no social security number usage, none of those things. So you're going to tell me in this day and age, everybody has smartphones, everybody has social media. You're going to tell me that then you never appear again?
Yeah, that's something's wrong with that. Now, so let me ask you this. Did law enforcement or anybody go talk with this Edward Denzel gentleman that seems, he's put out the info he has, or do you know?
I honestly don't know. I mean, Ed Denzel is a big podcaster, right? He has the Unbound podcast. Yeah. I don't honestly know. Ed doesn't stick his nose in, right?
Right.
Doesn't stick his nose in. That's not what Ed's about.
I absolutely get. Hello, Kimber. I get that. I just would think, because I've heard of his name before. I've heard other people refer to him before, and I noticed when I started looking up his stuff to upload it that he's got other cases he's covered. He's obviously going to be good at what he's doing, so on and so forth. You would think maybe they would go to him and say, "Hey, do you have any ideas?" So on and so forth. Because at 5 years, that's too long. Something's not right. You know what I mean?
Well, you also know that the North Platte River is nothing but a silty, sandy bottom.
Yeah. That's one of the things I had read about this. Yeah, that's not good. That's not. I hate when there's water very close to these. You know what I mean?
Well, and you're going to see that he actually ran right by the water, and you're going to see right where you're going to see. And here's the problem with that. That's what I had started to say before. Here's the problem with that. It was one of the wettest summers. And at the time that Chance would have been in the location he was in, between the storm and already what was there, the South Beltline loop had flooded there just off of that. And that's indicative of the canals overflowing, right? So the potential that, and he wasn't wearing Roper boots. He was wearing Roper horse shoes.
Oh, okay.
So
I know what you're talking about.
They're like a heeled.
Yeah. Definitely different. They have the flaps on the front and all that, right?
Well, I mean, they're more of like a hiking boot with a heel on it, so that you can. They were designed for like athletic wear, like working in the barn and stuff, and then you could hop on a horse if you needed to.
Yeah.
So it's an alternative to a cowboy boot. It's still a Western shoe, but
Right,
it's an alternative to a cowboy boot. And there's always been, that's always been a bone of contention about the shoes and all. Like, it's just stupid. It probably because it was my life for about 3 years.
No, I get it. I understand completely how that goes. I've spent a lot of times on Summer Wells, Kylie Rodney. I get exactly what you're talking about. So, and that's it. It's sad that at a 5-year period of time, they can't come up with something. You know what I mean? It's just, that's not right. So,
well, if again, I go back to if 9 dogs found Chance, and it's 9 independent dogs, right?
They didn't work together. They were all separately. Yeah. Okay.
And 8 of them were through law enforcement. There's been a total of 12 dogs that have come in and searched. There have been a total of 12, but 8 were law enforcement canines, and they all tracked to the same location, which is the same location that Karen's tracks to.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. And yes, Sarah, well, of course you are. Why wouldn't you be? No, that's interesting in itself, though, boys, because if they were all working in the same group, the dogs were all with the same handler, so on and so forth, that's different. But separate, independent scenarios going to the same exact spot, that says everything to me right there. So, that's quite interesting.
And there's also KNEB footage of the entire week. I mean, it was one of the largest searches that has ever taken place in Scottsbluff, Gearing.
Gotcha.
It's one of the largest searches that they have essentially covered from the Wyoming line to Gearing, Nebraska. Oh, damn it. I keep getting sidetracked. The water level, because of how full and how fast the water was flowing and how much there was.
Yeah.
By the next day, he could have been between Ogallala and there's another small town, and it's escaping me off the top of my head. I'd have to look at the map again. I'm drawing a blank. I can see it, but they didn't search downriver far enough. They searched upriver. He's not a salmon. He wouldn't have spawned.
Yeah, right. Right.
A body would have gone with the flow of the water.
Of course. That's how that works. Interesting. Yeah, because that's, being with the fire department and EMS, I was on many SR teams to do recoveries and stuff like that. And when you have water involved, which I did, and a lot of them, you just automatically should do these things, but you have to go with what you're told to do as well, thinking, okay, it is what it is. But
sometimes I'll dig in my email because I have all the recorded calls that I had with Matt Miller. And when you finally got down to brass tacks and talking to him about that, like, why did you search that way? Well, he went off of gut instinct. He did not is not SAR trained. B, he went off of gut instinct and what he thought Chance would have done. And I can send you the calls and you can play and you can listen to them. Probably not a good idea. I don't want you to get your channel struck because you can strike, all the bullshit. And of course, because it presents him in an untoward light.
Okay. Yeah.
It caused a lot of frictions when I put the calls out.
I understand. I do. I understand. And so let me ask you before we go further, just real quick in a very quick synopsis. What do you think happened personally?
I believe Chance had, I believe Chance went into the water.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing in this whole scenario that can't lie are the dogs.
Yeah.
You saw her give a Scent article. People can lie. Facts can be manipulated.
Mm-hmm.
And when you lay everything over, and follow like cell tower pings, all of the stuff, all of the things, unless he was being chased by a random nefarious person, which I am going to say there is a lot of drug activity in Gearing, especially in Perrytown where he walked through. Some of the neighborhood is rather questionable, and Gearing has some problems. Gearing, Scottsbluff have problems with that. But one would have thought that if that were the case, there would have been by now somebody getting pissed off at somebody else.
Yeah.
And we're
Slipping
5
up.
years.
Yeah.
And nothing like that has ever transpired.
Interesting. Very interesting. That's interesting. Thank you for that. That's very interesting. Welcome, Sammy. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, that's definitely that makes sense. Yes, after 5 years, something's gonna happen. Somebody's gonna say something, and that hasn't happened. So that's interesting to me.
And if let's just go with the theory that Bailey's family did something to him.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that they're gonna be a functional family just like they were the day that he walked away today?
Of course not. No, it doesn't work that way.
Right. But I mean, I'm saying if they did something to him, do you think that they're like, it's not going to start a downward spiral in the family?
No, something would have shined through at some point, and eventually, I know what you mean. Exactly. I agree with that.
Right. And there's been nothing of that. And I know for certain, sure, positive, all the family members on the same day had multiple law enforcement agencies come through their homes, and they opened every drawer, every cupboard. They did everything all at one time. It was all set. I mean, and again, they did that to try to clear themselves because the public opinion and the online social media hate was horrendous.
And so what the theory was, I'm guessing then, and speculative theory, I should say, was that because him and her supposedly had a disagreement, that her family went after him, something happened, boom, and here we are now. So I see how that would work.
Yep. It was flooding. It was flooding. And you guys have to remember, this is 2019 when this happened. So this is before any of the Summer Wells bullshit that we've seen happen, the Quentin Simon, all of that, right?
Right.
And this was a 19-year-old woman, 19-year-old girl with a brand new baby that was 3 months old, and the primary income source is gone.
Yeah, right. And again, yes, no, that makes that, I got you. Absolutely.
Yes.
All right, guys.
He straight up walked off, and you're going to see the path that he took.
Yeah, we saw part of that in that video, but that's what he was doing. He was out walking. So yes. All right, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and let this play. As this is playing, I'm gonna step away for just a minute to grab something, and I'll be right back. So
I'll shut up.
You're fine. You're fine. But I'm very grateful to have you here. So if I don't respond to you right away, just yell back at me when I show back up. Okay.
Right at, you see the white dot right before the bridge? That's where his pen ended. There's the 10th article in the bag.
Didn't we just
come back, Dago?
I'm here.
Okay. So if you back
Sorry.
this up, go to the back, the last video, the one before this.
Right.
And then about like you can slide the bar along until you see like the aerial, and it's a black line with yellow markers on it.
Okay. Hold on here.
I believe it's a combination of the shoes, the location, and the shoes, the location, and the water and the weather, and the fact that he had been drinking for the majority of the afternoon. It had been hot. They had been at the rodeo the night before. So this is Owl Road. This right here. So you see that his scent trail veers off and down towards the down. Okay.
Right.
So here's the thing. If you type in 702 O Street, Gearing, Nebraska, into Google Maps, right?
Okay.
Chance, number one, we got to back up a little bit more because Chance had only been to Gearing one other time. He didn't know the town, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nope, he wasn't participating in the rodeo. He no longer rode anymore. They were just going down to spend the 4th of July with her family in Nebraska. Okay.
Oh, okay. All right. I got you. I see what you're saying.
They lived in Wyoming. They lived in Moorcroft. He had just been fired from the coal mine outside of Gillette. BlackRock had just had a huge layoff, right? So if we're going to type in 702 O Street, Gearing, Nebraska.
What is it? Geary?
Gearing, Geering. Gear, and not like gear, but with 2 E's instead of an EA.
Yeah. Okay. Gearing.
Nebraska, NE.
There it is. I see it. It popped up.
Okay. Now, your end location is Torrington, Wyoming.
Hold on a minute.
You're okay. Listen, I don't have anything else on my plate. I'm sitting here working while we're doing this.
Well, I appreciate you very much, just so you know. Okay, so all right, so I'm already here and we're going to
go ahead, and we want to do a route, and we want to change the route, end to Torrington, Wyoming.
Okay, what's the second address?
Just put Torrington, 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 Wyoming, WY.
Gotcha.
All right. So we've got that, right? So let's go ahead and show that route. And I want you to go to doing it when you're walking.
Okay. Wait, did it do it?
No, it doesn't look like it.
It didn't do it. What am I doing wrong here? Hold on. I don't use these map things too often, but
okay.
1 second here. I'm sorry. There's one address. Okay. And then I need to go to add a missing place. No.
Up at the top where the thing is lit up, right? Not maybe you can type Gearing, Nebraska to Torrington, Wyoming.
Yeah, that's what I was
That's 702 O Street.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. 702. I know I used to do this before to get from one place to the other. I just don't know how it works in here. I'm working on it though.
You're okay.
Right, there's that one.
Okay, yeah, keep zooming out. Okay. So
and then
we want our end location. We want to do the route from 702 O Street to Torrington, Wyoming.
Okay. Now let's see what happens. There we go. Okay. 45 minutes.
That's 45. Yeah, right. That's it. That's driving, but we want to look at it walking. And we're going to go back over here to the far right where it's over towards Gearing, right?
Yep. 12 hours and 34 minutes on foot.
Right, but I need you to go back, zoom in over here on the right. Like, see where, okay, now go up a little bit more. Because we're looking for Owl Road. See where this river is? You see the river? I need you to zoom in on that.
Okay. Wait a minute.
Go up some more.
A little bit more, yeah.
Okay, this is what we want to look at right here where zoom in even more. Because look, now, yep, bring it. Go up now. Now you're zoomed in. Yep, you're good. Now follow this path. Keep going. And now look what it shows. It looks like there's a way to cross the river, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
Now go back to Karen Tarquin's map.
Okay, hold on. Wait a minute. What the hell did I do?
Tab.
Yeah, hold on. I have it already up here. I just have to, 1 second.
Switch over. Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know if you use StreamYard or OBS or what you use.
I use StreamYard, but multitasking is not my thing. So hold on. I just got to get back to, here we go. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to take that music down. Okay.
Now pause. Okay. So go over farther. When it looks, see how it's the path is going down and over.
Yeah.
If you look at that overlaid with Google Maps, Google Maps tells you it looks like you can cross that river there.
Okay. I see what you're saying now. Gotcha.
See over here to the left where we're at? Yeah. It looks like you can cross that river on Google Maps.
Yeah. Okay. I see what right there. Yeah. Okay. Absolutely. I see what you mean. And then if I'd have to pull it back up, but I don't even know where the hell it went that time. Hold on. Where the hell did it go?
The map?
It must have just dropped off, but I see what you're saying.
Okay.
Though.
And then, yes. So if you follow like the path that he took, it looks like over here on the left. Yep. Right in through there.
Right.
There's a way to cross the river. So if you add that to the storm,
more
water,
the flooding, of course. So he could have been carried away at that point. You know, if he was drinking, stumbled slightly, if the flooding caused you, yeah, absolutely. That makes perfect sense.
Slide the bar along until we see a little wooden footbridge.
Gotcha.
Going down the Owl Road. This is where she goes off and veers. They're stopping.
Right.
That's where, right there. Okay, so the first picture of Karen was Jet alerting that the scent ended.
Uh-huh.
Now, you see right down here by where the R is in perimeter, you see these three little white things right there?
Yeah, right here.
Where the scent ended. Yep, those are the markers that indicate where we marked where the scent ended.
So here's the thing. So if this is flooded, I guarantee you if this river's up way higher than it's supposed to be.
This is a canal. This is a canal.
A canal,
yes,
okay.
It could have been.
This bridge was maybe visible but underwater. And therefore, in turn, walking could have been very difficult. Once you hit this bridge, the water can make you, I get what you're going. I get where you're going. I got you. Okay. And so when this happened, they searched upriver instead of downriver?
Matt did.
Okay.
Gearing didn't go down far enough for the water estimates. He could have been I want to say it's Brainerd, but that's not the right name. There's overnight he could have gone between 25 and 30 miles downriver. If he wasn't hung up on something else in between. Because
tree branches or something. Yeah, right. Absolutely.
What about the phone thing? There was a catastrophic water event at 10:02. What about it?
Yeah, somebody said something about what about the phone thing. I guess that's supposedly the what the hell was I saying? One of the videos it said it was one of the best source of a lead, I should say.
Yep.
Yeah, the phone showed a well, there it is. If you go into the water, under the water, it's going to show iPhones, especially show.
iPhones, I think they can last 30 minutes in the water, if I remember correctly.
And they do show if there's been an issue with being underwater and stuff like that. They can show that. And then no, she's saying about the cell phone from the next day.
The next day, there was nothing from the next day. There was a catastrophic water event that ended the phone at 10:02 p.m. on 7/6. That is a lot of rumor and conjecture and speculation.
Oh, okay. Maybe she's just asking.
I have the phone records. I can go pull out the physical phone record copies.
Right. Okay. I understand.
Oh, the phone at the house it was a kid. Okay. So if you ever talk to Larry, the former neighbor, that phone was found in the street, and one of the kids that Larry's wife babysat, they said, hey, go throw that up on Chance and Bailey's porch. I bet they left. I bet it fell out when they were getting in the car and leaving the next day. That phone was turned into law enforcement, and it had nothing to do with Chance's case. That was a phone that belonged to a local in the area that was known as he struggled. He has issues, right?
Okay. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
And he probably dropped it, or it fell out of a pocket, or a car, like whatever. It had nothing to do with Chance, Bailey, any of it.
Okay. Makes sense. Absolutely.
Yes, it would have been dark too.
Okay. 100%. So should I continue on?
That's not a road that he could have gotten into a vehicle at. But that's okay. I mean, then
I think
so then he just threw his phone into the water. I don't know. I'll stop reading chat. Go ahead.
If I think it really just stopped. Right. Okay. Hold on, JC. Let me get through. Do I go through any more of this here, voice, or do I just?
No, that's really. I mean, and that's where.
Where the scent stopped, was on that bridge right there, here.
Right, those are. Yep, that's where it was marked for.
So, and I have to venture to say, if there was flooding, this is gonna be gone. Okay, it's gonna be level. The water level is probably level with this bridge. I've seen this happen before. It's a little footbridge, so yeah. If he was standing here and, like I said, little tipsy possibly, yeah, that could make some sense.
And the other part of that is that when you look at that little map, the black one where he went off the road, he could have easily been being chased by somebody.
That's very
there's that probability also. But given that, and there's no indicators of foul play.
Yeah, and that's been stressed, that there has been nothing that's been found relating to any form of foul play. So that I did read that. I mean, it could very well be seen as just a horrible accident, you guys. Or again, if somebody was chasing him for whatever reason. I don't know what this area is like. I don't know.
You're looking at what it's like. If you back up and look at the video, this is Owl Creek Road, and it's completely.
So this is just a blatantly rural area. Like there's not. Yeah. So
it dead ends down into the river.
Okay. Now, so we're not looking at like an inner city area where somebody could try to rob him or something like that. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, it could have. I mean, like I said, there are nefarious things that have gone on in Gearing. If you look at the crime rates, all of that. I mean, it is very rural, boondocks, West Nebraska. Very rural. But if you also look at what's been going on in there, they've had some gang problems. I mean, and again, there was at one point when Chance and Bailey were on the phone that Bailey could hear a big commotion in the background. No, Crimson Moon, he did not participate in rodeo. He rodeoed through college, but he chose to be a demolition derby. He did demolition derbies rather than rodeo anymore.
Yeah, I actually have photos of that. Okay.
Anyway,
all right.
That's what I have. So
no, thank you very much. I appreciate. Like I said, I'd like to have factual information to bring when I bring these things, And you know as well as I do, because you've been out here for a while, it's very hard to get that because of all the stuff that ends up getting put out with these cases. So, you know, I like to look at all the different angles too. So there's that too. But I definitely appreciate you showing me that for sure.
My bigger part was I wanted to come up here to make sure that Bailey and Trace, the Englebert, or I'm sorry, the Bewley family is not, it is absolutely not spoken poorly on. I mean, like I said, as I said, Bailey's life had been turned, not only was it turned upside down due to the disappearance of her husband.
Absolutely.
But to have the home shown.
Yeah. I mean, to be doxxed by a government official, that's disgusting to me. I'm sorry. But
former government official, but that's also the same woman that went in and recorded Serenity Dennard's biological mother. Do you remember Serenity Dennard?
Yeah.
She went missing from a children's home in South Dakota. So
these people, well, former or current, you should still know better. You know what I mean? That's sad.
We put a restraining order on her for a year, and then we couldn't put another because then I mean, she would get really close to being able to violate it, but she would never fully. A JCN, that is not I can't answer that. I cannot answer that. My question is, what have the Engleberts done to see the baby? What can they show that they've done to make contact with their grandchild? That needs to be left out of this.
Yeah, that's not my business anyway. I don't, this is about finding him. I don't want to know their personal things, truly. I just want to know what and how happened with him and what could have happened is what I'm looking to try to put out there. So
they were so bad that they went to Bailey's to get a dirty diaper out of the garbage to try to do a DNA test to see if it was Chance's.
Good God. Okay. That's sad.
I'm aware they have a PI. I just spoke with him 2 weeks ago, JCM. Anyway.
Yes, definitely. Again, thank you, boys, so very much. I appreciate that.
I appreciate your time. Like I said, if you really want an unbiased, very smart breakdown of this, listen to Ed Denzel's take.
Yeah, I have uploaded some of his stuff on this, and we're probably going to play through that here soon. So yeah, 100%.
All right, we'll see you later. Bye.
All right, hon. Thanks so much. Have a wonderful day. Awesome. Thank you for that again, voice. I appreciate it. And I think, hold on a minute here. Okay, JC, there you go, hon. I just wanted to get through that part of that first, and then we can go. There's a link there for you. And that's interesting to me with knowing that there's flooding. He walks on down through here. Where was he headed is my, like, where were we gonna, was he just walking off the stress of the day and the scenario, or it happens, we get out here and do some of these things and not thinking about it, and bad things happen sometimes. So, all right, let me back this up to where we were with that other one now. Hold on. Whoa, that is definitely not what I want. Where did that go? Here we go. Okay, give me a second to load this up. And Linky, JC, the link's there if you're interested, hon. Still, I should say, hold on. All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Sure, absolutely. Thank you for joining me.
No problem.
I didn't even think about when I loaded this in today about you being from this area. So
yeah. So I don't know what all, like, I kind of dozed off a little bit, but so not exactly sure what all you guys talked about, but
we just really did the basics on it, the scenario, the basics of what went down, and then showed where the 9 dogs had led to that area specifically where his scent was lost at that point.
Yeah.
And then showed the footbridge and talked about the flooding, and that's pretty much really it right there.
Yeah.
And he had been drinking, Terry. That he had been drinking a little bit. So anyway, go ahead, Josie. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, Not real. I think my biggest theory on what has happened is that I think he was picked up by somebody.
Okay.
I think the majority of people, though, I mean, and I do agree. I don't know whether the family knows something or did something. I don't know, but there's just some severe suspicions. But
I understand.
But also, my second biggest theory is that he was picked up by because any city that has a major interstate going through it is, you know what I mean, prone for substances. Okay.
Sure.
And I do think that he was, I don't know. I don't know. I know he was a little bit, maybe not 100%. But I do think that he may have asked for a ride somewhere.
Okay.
And got in the wrong vehicle. And I mean, because I know it sounds really crazy that it would have to be so random, but so random things happen all the time. I mean,
Yeah.
And it's also not very far from the Colorado border.
Okay.
And so that I don't know.
I understand. No, absolutely. I get it.
It is very, very weird, though, that there has been zero findings of evidence of foul play.
No,
I
agreed.
do think that. And for that, I don't know. I've also heard, well, okay, let me just be honest.
Sure.
My cousin's husband,
Okay.
his sister, is married to the chief of police in Gering.
Your cousin's husband's sister. Okay, gotcha.
Yes, is married to the chief of police in Gering. And for what I don't know, I have never talked to him about it because I refuse to, because I don't think that we would, that just wouldn't be good. It would probably go south.
I understand.
But the FBI has not ever been contacted.
At all?
No.
That's pretty wild. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, to answer your question, Money, why would his scent stop at that bridge? Well, if he was picked up at that bridge in a vehicle by chance, then that's why it would stop there. Or if maybe he was carried away with water, maybe per se, if it was over flooded. And that's the thing, though, is if it's flooding back in that area, you're not going to get too many vehicles that can get back there. And the road looks kind of iffy anyway, but you know what I mean? I don't know how bad it was, but it was pretty bad from my understanding. There was a hell of a storm that went through there and so on and so forth. So
yeah.
If he didn't know the area, he could have been lost. So I mean, that would be why the scent would stop there, Moni. Oh.
And his mom said that he was a really, really great swimmer.
Well, and I can see that, but here's the thing. If you're,
I mean, I know that currents can really it don't matter if you're a good swimmer. If a current has you,
and if you're intoxicated to an extent, that can slow you down. Your reflexes are a little different too. You know what I mean? So, because I think I heard the same story about Riley Strang. Yeah, and it's it can be the same, almost the same scenario, but
not falling off a 60-foot drop.
Yeah, right. That's a little bit different. It's fine, Kimber.
Yeah.
This is a 5-year-old case, Ro, with nothing. So
yeah, absolutely. So a couple weeks ago, I did hear that there was a little update.
Yeah.
And the gas station attendant came forward and said that the gas station that he was at, he heard Chance arguing or speaking loudly with somebody on the phone in the back of the gas station.
Right. I think I had that update here.
But I don't. But that doesn't say anything. I mean,
yeah, it doesn't
that
mean
doesn't give us, because I don't think the article said anything about what he was saying or anything
right,
like that.
right.
So there's nothing. I mean, that
Absolutely.
was just there. And it is, I don't know. I have a feeling that my biggest feeling is that, I mean, the family suspicious. However, nothing's been proven, so I can't really, think that.
Yeah.
But I mean, point blank, my second biggest theory is that he was picked up.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Um, no problem, Ange. Take your time. Well, I'm going to throw this up here real quick. This was from 5 years ago, with the family speaking out at some point about this as well, just to give you guys a little bit more info on the scenario of what was going on. This is a press briefing involving the family, his family as well. This was from that time when this all happened.
Good afternoon. I'm George Holtis with the Gearing Police Department.
Do you guys have volume on this?
Yes.
Okay.
We wanted to give you an afternoon briefing on today's search activities. Searchers today checked an area east of 10th Street. We checked some vacant trailers in the Bellevue addition. We had searchers out in portions of the National Park. We checked some canyon areas east and west of Highway 71 near U Street in Gearing. We had investigators checking some vacant or older cars at an auto dealership in the area. We had the Nebraska State Patrol Air Wing flew the North Platte River from Bridgeport, Nebraska to the Wyoming state line. Additionally, they flew Highway 92 and 26 and the BN Railroad from the Scottsbluff, Nebraska area to the Wyoming line. And then we had investigators canvassing the neighborhoods in Terrytown, contacting the homeowners. Unfortunately, we have not found anything to aid our investigation. So we are going to be transitioning from an actively searching phase to a phase focusing more on the investigative phase, doing more with cell phones, interviews with friends, families, coworkers, and other people in the lives, and doing some financial and credit card type activities. To recap the entire effort, our 147 people actively participated, approximately 147 people actively participated in the ground searches. That doesn't count, administrative staff or clerical staff that supplemented all those activities. Approximately 2,400 acres were searched. 18 agencies were involved in that search. Airlink in itself, our helicopter service, over 280 miles that they logged in our efforts to help us search. And the Nebraska State Patrol had over 100 miles, and that's not counting the time and the travel to get them here. That's just actively searching areas we asked them to search. On the ground, they searched approximately 10 lakes and ponds. One of those was additionally searched in addition to a cadaver dog and ground search. We used sonar to search that body of water. There was additionally about 5 miles of riverfront and other waterfront property, irrigation ditches, those kind of things. And so, the community came out and helped us successfully search a wide area. And unfortunately, the success is not what we had hoped for. The success is we can say with relative certainty the chance isn't in those areas. And so now it's time to focus our efforts onto the investigative side. We've searched the areas that make sense to us to have searched. And so we have completed that today at about 12 o'clock noon. So moving forward, the family would like a few minutes of your time. And so we've invited them forward. And at this time, we'll invite them forward.
Welcome, Forgotten Whispers. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us today. I appreciate you very much. And it's great to have you here.
Everybody keeps saying, do you know what you're going to say? They don't. It's wow. This is a nightmare. I can't believe how much everybody's helped us and supported us. I never felt that Chance would leave his family. I feel that if he has just needed a break and ran away from being a grown-up, I get it. I'm disappointed and I'm hurt. But please, Chance, if that's the case, come home. Reach out to anybody. I still think somebody knows something. We're still building that reward. Chance would be embarrassed to death of all of this. But we just need him home. Yes, and he's not in trouble. I don't think anybody in the law enforcement would. His mom and his dad will harp on him, but he's not in trouble.
And we really appreciate all of you guys and all of the effort that the whole community has put forth. And
we know they've tried hard. We do. We really do. Ignore your brother's last text and come home. Your brothers need you. Your baby needs you. I don't have any kids. Do you have questions?
Do you all have questions for us?
So it was mentioned that if Chance was out there on his own, to please come home, to please contact law enforcement. If there were any chance that he's out there on his own, would there be any repercussions after a few days of having to search, or how does that work?
No, Monette, there is no repercussions. If that's what's happened and Chance needed a break, needed to decompress, whatever, there is no criminal charges. He has not committed a crime. He's an adult. He can go and do. Certainly, we would want to verify that he's well and maybe ask some questions, but there is certainly no criminal charges. So yeah, I would absolutely reiterate what the family has said. That, you know, if just come home.
What you guys are is reasonably certain right now, because you've exhausted, I guess, your searches, is that he's not in those areas where the cell phone was last had activity and such.
That is correct. We're reasonably certain, but those, you know, we're relying on people that are human, and humans make mistakes. Cell phones, how many times has your GPS said you were somewhere else other than where you are, or taking you down a road that doesn't exist, or try to? You know, all those things have a margin of error in them. You know, even the sonar and all those things, you know, the cadaver dog, all those things, there can be errors.
Has there been any more information or tips that have come out even since yesterday? In this case, you guys have been asking for people to contact authorities. Have you gotten any more information that's relevant?
We have gotten additional tips that the investigators are sorting through. To what extent those are, Monette, I don't have an answer. They certainly are continuing to sort through those as they come in. We have had additional footage from people looking through their security systems. Unfortunately, at this point, the ones that have come in as of today have been on the gearing side of things and are before we can no longer track him. So they help us. Yeah, he was walking. He was on his own free will going that way and looked healthy and all those things. So does that make sense?
Yes.
This question is for the family. Has he ever done anything like this? Like, even as a kid?
No.
Go out and talk to you guys and let you guys know where he's going to be at?
No.
So this is...
Yeah, and his friends are shocked. The college buddies have reached out to us. They're like, he's coming home. He doesn't do things like this. You know, he might take off for a walk or be drunk, but
hours.
Yeah, not days. No, he's just a normal kid that loves his family, and we don't get any of it.
Do you guys does he normally check in with you guys if he's going out somewhere or anything like that? Do you guys know?
He used to when he was living at home.
Yeah, I mean, he says he's got married. No, Mama's tried to back off. No, we talk weekly, every other day. This isn't just not normal. We had a hard week last week, so of some things that happened, but he's reached out to other people and he's talked. This is not a normal Chance. This is something happened mentally, physically. I don't know, but this is not normal, and his friends are shocked as we are.
Most importantly, you're hoping for his safe return, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely. If I had to take anything right now. And Bailey would be with us, but as you know, having a 3-month-old, she's wore out and tired too. So we're still supporting each other. There's no problems there. We love each other. Just want him home.
And as a brother growing up with them, can you tell us a little bit characteristically wise what kind of person he is?
Just hardworking guy.
Your best buddy and your enemy. They're very tight. We've rodeoed, we've traveled everywhere together. This is killing us.
And anyone with information can still contact the area police department.
They can contact the Scottsbluff County Communication Center, Nebraska State Patrol. We're all working on this together. And that information will get to the investigators or the folks that need it, and they will pursue it. So that'd be 436-6666 to the Communication Center. Captain, or you got to add a phone number for the State Patrol, sir?
The State Patrol, they can contact 308-535-8047. That'll put you through to the North Platte Communication Center.
So with that, thank you for your time.
Okay, these are officers giving some details as to what went on within the search, to explain a little bit about that as well, and give everybody kind of a heads up to what to know, basically.
At the intersection of Avenue I and Owl Road. Started Monday at the intersection of Avenue I and Owl Road. Started searching there with Bob Hessler and the CERT folks. Started walking, that Owl Road area. Had people walking up along the railroad tracks. And then as information became available, we just kind of expanded the search from there.
All right, go.
All right, well, good afternoon, guys. Thanks again for reconvening with us. As you can see, we've completed our searches for today. All of our volunteers who put in a very, very hard day for us. A lot of good work, a lot of great effort for our cause here. We sent them home. We're going to reconvene in the morning. Here is what we know so far. We have some video footage from a business in Gering that has put Chance Englebert at the intersection of Martha Drive and 10th Street at 7:51 p.m. So as of right now, we're operating that as that is the last known location that we know where Chance was at. Our searches today did not turn up anything related to this investigation. So I'm going to reiterate my plea to the public that if anybody has any information, if any homeowners, businesses, if anybody has any video that we haven't already asked for or already received, to contact us so we can try to search through that, see if there's anything that would help us find Chance. Okay. Again, I'll reiterate to any homeowners, property owners, if you've got outbuildings you haven't looked for us, we'd appreciate everybody's effort to help us find Chance. Okay. So we're gonna start up. We've got a couple other areas we're gonna search tomorrow morning. We're gonna start up again at 8 o'clock. At this point, we're not gonna convene a briefing for the media unless we find something. Then we'll be in touch. But as of right now, we just don't have anything else to add other than what the video showed us for that Saturday night.
Can you elaborate today's designated search area and kind of, from
Sure.
west to east?
So the area that was searched today was a little bit to the east of here, pretty much the entire southwest part of Scottsbluff, from the river over to the West Overland area. I think we had somewhere around 50 or so volunteers who were boots on the ground, searching all these areas for us. I can't thank those volunteers enough. They searched a lot of areas for us. And again, we'll pick it back up tomorrow morning with a couple areas we have yet to get done.
We were wondering if you guys working today don't find anything tomorrow, how long do search efforts continue?
That's a good question, Monette. We'll probably tackle that question tomorrow once we've exhausted all of the areas that we know we want to get done tomorrow. So the best answer I can give you is once we get those tasks done, we'll get everybody together and see, if we can figure out if we've missed something or if, there's another area maybe we need to be looking at.
Has the weather, it's been kind of rainy, you can see the puddles all over around us. Has that hampered things in any way?
No. I believe all of our volunteers who were out here searching, they didn't report any problems being able to get through the terrain that they were assigned.
Are there any additional supplies that the public could give you guys to help as far as like water or?
It's good question. No. So far, through the efforts of Scottsbluff Fire, Gehring Fire, everybody involved, Sheriff's Office, Scottsbluff PD, we've got everything that we've needed so far. If that becomes an issue, we will certainly reach out. But
that statement's very true. Echoes put up there that her asking for a death certificate is she has to go on with her life. She has to do things to take care of this child. This is just part of what happens when these things happen, guys. People can't take that and go, oh my God, she knows and this and that. She did this, she did that. And that's ridiculous that does happen in some of these cases, everybody. It really does. So understand that's a very strong statement, Echoes, and I appreciate that as well.
Far we're doing well.
Have you been in contact with any law enforcement over in Wyoming? I know he's a Moorcroft native. Is there a chance he slipped a ride with someone and ended up back closer to what he considers home?
I personally have not, Chief. Are you aware of anything?
Yeah, we have been communicating with the Moorcroft Police Department. They have been in communication with us. And beyond that, that's been the extent of our communications other than our broadcasts and those things.
And at this point, Ryan, I
thank you, Rapper.
Torrington PD is aware. We have reached out to them to help us, look for local hotels, motels, that type of thing.
And I did see a flyer today, one of the mini marts that says there was a missing person poster and it said reward. Is there any merit to that that you know of? Is there actually a reward for his location been put forth by the family or anybody, or is that just kind of beyond your knowledge?
We don't know. If there is a reward, that's not anybody associated with our group.
Following this morning's press conference, we had asked for any other businesses for surveillance video. Was it just the one that reached out and had something, or had others checked with nothing?
So we've had investigators from a couple agencies checking businesses along the 10th Street corridor. They're checking basically businesses up to the point where we know he was last seen. Again, we're asking anybody who's got video that we haven't already asked for, because our investigators have hit a lot of the businesses on 10th Street and in that Terrytown area. So if anybody that has not been asked thinks they may have video, from Saturday evening from 7:30 until even as late as 10 or 11 o'clock, we ask them to give us a call.
Okay, well, there is that. Boyce says the Chance got a call at 6:02 and his attitude changed after his uncle called him. His brother also told him to F off. You're dead to me. Right, I'd heard that too.
I have never heard that.
Yeah, I had heard that before. well, not heard it, but saw it in a statement that I was reading about this when I was putting this together earlier.
Never heard that before.
And it could just be, sorry, I got to get out of these things here. So I don't know, I wasn't there for that stuff, to see that, but back to, hold on a minute here. Sorry. It's just so strange to me that there is nothing now. They need to
reach out to the FBI.
They should have done that a long time ago, in my opinion. I don't understand why they didn't.
I don't know if it's just because, like, sometimes I don't know if small town police forces kind of have pride. You know what I mean?
Well, there's also
pride,
right, and there's always the very possibility that it is crossing state lines, possibly in a sense with Wyoming and this and that.
And Colorado.
In Colorado. So maybe they could have looked at that aspect of it just to bring them in to help them to look for something, or maybe recanvass this canal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Voice says they did bring in the FBI and there's nothing there. They did contact them. There's nothing they could do. Do you know that, by the way, Voice, why they have a Pennsylvania area code on the number for the tip line, or is that just somebody running the tip line in a different area? I'm just curious. Go ahead, JC. Sorry.
I don't know. The whole thing, like, I mean, I'm from there, and like the whole thing is just it's strange. It's one of those, like, he just vanished.
We've seen a lot of those, it's kind of crazy.
I would say, like, oh, people don't just vanish. Well, I've seen enough cases where people do just vanish.
They have been, yeah.
But like someone said in chat, like, if he was in the water, he would have surfaced. However, if he got caught on something and was down far enough, no, he wouldn't have, because was it Audrey Cunningham that was found in the water?
Yeah, she was found in the water.
And she had a brick on her.
Mm-hmm. She was, I think that was done on purpose. But
but if you don't have anything tied to you, you're gonna. But he could have gotten caught on something too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Voice says that the North Platte is silt in the riverbed, or the bed of it, I'm guessing.
I do agree with Voice. I think they need to go further down the river.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, recanvass that whole thing and drag it and see if they can come up with anything at that point. Because he could be down into that, with silt and sand and all that kind of stuff. It's like, So this here is an interview of Matt Miller
with Matt.
His so-called best friend, so on and so forth. This is part one of it, and I just kind of figured I'd let you guys see this here, get a taste of who this guy is. This is the one that set up that search that went to maybe the wrong direction per se, and just give you guys another look at this. This is Linda DeSanto, I think her name was. Is that right? Yeah, Voice said it. Yeah, okay. All right, so just to give you guys another look, or give you a bit of a look at this gentleman here who was part of this as well, his so-called best friend. And you heard what she said about kind of it being one-sided, I guess you could say, in a sense. So this is that's right. This is the woman that did the doxing, I guess you could say. That's ridiculous. So this is probably a completely anyway, this will give you a look at him and who this woman is. I don't understand what her point is behind all this, but we'll see.
Hello, everybody. Lynn DeSanto with Lynn Seeks Truth, coming to you tonight with an...
I see what it is now. Okay. Anyhow, can you guys hear that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Incredibly important interview in regards to Chance Englebert, missing since July 6th. Such a tragic and terrible story, so heartbreaking, and so many people asking me what has happened to Chance. And so tonight I am bringing you an interview, the first time ever. His best friend, Matt, is going to be speaking out. Matt has some incredible information that I think is going to help shine a lot more light on this case and help you to understand better exactly what happened. So Matt, how long have you and Chance known each other?
We started at the mine in 2017, and that's when we met.
Okay. And you describe yourself as his best friend.
Yeah, I would say that. Not in front of him, but I feel a little weird. But
Okay.
yeah, I would say that we were close.
Very close friends. Okay. You guys would see each other at least every week, often every day? Is that?
We worked the same rotation at the mine, and then days off we were running together quite a bit too. So.
Okay. So you had shared with me that you actually were with Chance when he met Bailey, his wife, for the first time. Is that right?
Yeah, we were supposed to actually be hunting. We got in a lot of trouble over that deal with my wife, so we ended up in Nebraska picking up 2 derby cars, and then he snuck in that we were meeting a gal he was interested in, which happened to be Bailey.
Okay. And how had they met? If she was in Nebraska and he was in Wyoming, how had they actually met in the first place?
Online.
Online. Okay.
I don't know what site or anything.
Okay. So they probably met online, and then he's there and he says, hey, let's go meet this girl I'm talking to.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. So, and when they met the first time, how did it seem like it was? Did they seem like they got along? They must have.
Well, he was really nervous. Chance was always nervous around new people.
Sure.
And anything like that. So I really remember this. We were both sitting in the pickup waiting for her to show up, and he goes, if she's ugly or crazy looking, we're leaving immediately. We ain't even getting her close to pickup. She stepped out, he liked her. So
Okay, so that was good. You guys didn't try to run.
No, we didn't run.
That's good. Okay, so tell me a little bit about how long had they dated before they got married? Was it quite a while, or?
No, it was just that year. It was all real quick.
Okay, pretty quick.
Yeah.
So, and were you at their wedding when they got married?
Yeah, I was Chance's best man.
Best man. Okay, very good. And where were they actually married at?
Sundance, Wyoming.
In Sundance.
Yeah.
Okay. And then was there any type of event for the family or a party or anything like that after the wedding?
After the wedding, we all went to Deadwood.
Okay, went to Deadwood, the whole family? Yeah. Okay, and how was that? Was it a fun event? What was that like?
It was mostly fun. There was right off the bat, there was an argument kind of, I guess, towards the end of the night between Bailey and Chance.
Okay.
And I don't know 100% what that was all about, but I was under the impression that Bailey didn't want Chance's family at the wedding, and there was a big, backlash to that during that night after everybody got to drink.
I'm going to ask everybody, because we don't know. We know what she's done. She doxed this girl completely. People tell their own stories the way they want to. So take every bit that we hear from this, because this is not given by Chance himself, with a grain of salt, folks. Remember that. That's something I've always said. Take things like this that you hear with a grain of salt. That way, because you don't know how much of it's true, how much of it's false, or how much of it's in between. That's the one thing I always like to say. So just take heed to that when we're watching this.
Drinking and whatnot.
Okay, so Chance had his family at the wedding, and you were told that she maybe was not happy about that, and there was some type of fight that occurred around that. Okay, so it sounds like there might have been some tension with the families kind of early on.
Yes.
Okay, so on the weekend that he disappeared, you actually were almost going to be hanging out with him. Is that correct?
Yes. Chance and I were talking during the rotation about maybe actually going to the Englebert Ranch for the 4th of July and catfishing. And then once we got on days off and got to visiting, Bailey and Chance decided to go to Nebraska instead.
Okay.
So that's when.
So that's when this sort of event happened, was that he could not hang out with you. He was going with her family instead.
Yes.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about the little guy, the little Banks, the baby, his son. What kind of a dad was Chance? What was Chance like when he was with his son?
No, it was awesome, man, to see him with the little guy. I don't know how to explain it, because I didn't get to be around very much with Banks.
Okay.
So I would say it was, when Chance was being a dad, Chance was awesome.
Okay. He loved being a dad.
Yeah.
Yes.
He was definitely busy with it.
Yes. Yeah. Was he excited about having a little boy? Do you remember?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very, very excited.
That's great.
And nervous.
Yeah. First time dad. Yeah. Okay. So let's go to the day that Chance disappears. So when was the first time you were aware that something was wrong?
When Chance called me. Was
Okay.
the first time I found out.
Okay, so you are back with your friends, on 4th of July weekend, or with your family friends?
Yes.
Hanging out, okay. Your phone rings and it's him. And he says what?
He says that he got into a fight with his in-laws He didn't say he was at the golf course or anything like that, but he said he was got in a fight with his in-laws and needed a ride home and was walking down a road.
Okay. Did he tell you what road he was on? Did you know exactly where he was?
He didn't say exactly where he was, like a mile marker or anything like that, but he said he was walking towards Torrington.
Okay. So he said, we got into a fight with the in-laws. Did he say what specific member of that family, or did he just say the in-laws in general?
He did not say.
Okay. And did he tell you what the argument was about?
Okay. Well, I don't even have my thing in here. Hold on. 1 second, guys. Well, I'll just put it out there like this, guys. This is for fair use. I'm using this for educational purposes only, to learn facts and or pieces of information in regards to this case. And again, this is the channel here is Lynn Seeks. And there's actually a secondary interview too, part 2 of this. So hold on a minute. I had a new fair use thing that I was putting in here. I just didn't get to upload it. Is there going to be? Hold on.
I would make some phone calls. I knew a couple people in Nebraska, and I knew Chance's parents were close.
Or go to the next one. What would it matter if I went to the second part of it, boys? Or is there another interview with him? I just wanted to give everybody a chance to see who this guy was, truly. I don't know. Maybe there is another. Let me check, because I don't want to have to deal with that either. So hold on a minute, folks. This is not working out today the way I wanted it to. Give me a second here. She's got a lot of crap in here. I don't want that. Yeah, thank you for that. Let me just do that. All right, I'll just do this and pause it every so often. Like I said, it's for educational purposes in regards to the case, to get to learn who Matt Miller is and what he knows in regards to the case. Thank you, Doodle. There's that one there. Fair use is a legal doctrine that says use of copyrighted material under certain circumstances is allowed without permission from the copyright holder. Thank you. I have one that I needed to upload into my system to pop out here. I had a different one, but I lost it when I changed it up. So, I think that'll make a difference.
He didn't say exactly where he was, like a mile marker or anything like that, but he said he was walking towards Torrington.
Okay. So he said, we got into a fight with the in-laws. Did he say what specific member of that family, or did he just say the in-laws in general?
He did not say.
Okay. And did he tell you what the argument was about, or what the problem was?
He didn't either.
Okay. So he was sort of general, that there was a fight with the in-laws.
That's kind of how we talked.
Okay. And did he seem intoxicated to you? Did he sound like he was drunk?
No, not at all.
Not at all. He sounded clear.
He did.
Okay. Did he sound confused or disoriented?
No, just upset.
Okay. And by upset, you mean angry, crying? What kind of upset?
Angry.
Angry.
Yeah.
Okay. So he was upset. He was angry, and he said there was a problem.
Yeah.
Okay. So what did you say you were going to do?
I told him I'd have to call him back, that I'd been at a 4th of July party all day. There was no way I was coming to get him, so I'd have to make some phone calls. He said, okay.
Okay. So your thought was that you would try to find him a ride. Is that what you were thinking?
Yeah. I would make some phone calls. I knew a couple people in Nebraska, and I knew Chance's parents were closer than I was.
Okay, so there were a lot of people that have commented about that the weather was bad or soon to be bad. Did he ever make any? Did he ever mention that to you? Hey, it's going to rain, or there's a bad storm coming?
Not at all. No.
He never mentioned that. Okay, so you start making calls to people. Did you find someone that could go pick him up?
I did not find anybody that could go get him, but I got a hold of his mother, Dawn, and she was going to call his uncle, and his uncle was going to go get him, John. But
okay, so she told you that. She said the uncle will go get him.
Yeah.
Okay, so then what did you do?
Includes sensitive or violent content, not suitable for all viewers.
Did you call Chance back and tell him that you had found him?
Yeah, we tried to call him back, but there was no answer.
Okay, so you talked to his mom. Mom says uncle will come. You're going to call him back and say, hey, we got it worked out.
Yes.
But no answer.
No answer.
No answer. Did you get any other text from him?
No.
Did you try texting him?
Yes.
Okay, and no response to your text.
Not a thing.
Okay, so then what happens? What's the next thing you hear?
Well, the next thing I hear is he's actually missing, and that was the next day.
And who told you that?
I heard it from Bailey on the internet and Dawn.
Okay, so Bailey had posted something online saying Chance is missing. Okay, so what did you do at that point?
Well, at that point, I was ready to go down and start helping search for him, but was talking with Dawn, and she asked me to stay. Chance and I just got a new job working for Blakeman.
Okay, and Dawn is Chance's mom.
Yes.
So she told you, don't go down there and stay here.
Yeah, stay in Moorcroft and work till noon and see if Chance shows up there.
Okay, and so you did that,
Yes.
and he was not found.
No.
Okay, and so at that point, did you call Bailey back, or what did you do then?
At that point, I called Dawn and let her know we were going to leave. He wasn't there, so we left Moorcroft around noon to go help.
Okay, so your thought was he might show up at work today. He might just come walking in the door at work, and you'd say, hey, everybody's looking for you, but that didn't happen.
Right.
Okay.
If Chance would have walked off like everybody was hoping he did, he would have been at work that day.
Okay, because you always show up for work.
Never missed it.
Never miss work. Okay, very reliable guy.
Very.
Okay, so you get in the car and you head to Gering, where he's missing from. Is that correct?
Yes.
And who were you with?
I was with my wife and a friend.
Okay, and what did you do when you got there?
When we got there, we started trying to figure out where we could jump in and help at. We didn't get a lot of reply back from family or friends where they were or what they were doing. We were able to get a hold of Dawn. She said they were just driving around looking. So we just picked the best spot, which I thought would have been the last place he was seen, was that truck stop. And we started searching through trees and walking river bank.
Okay, and when you were doing that, were you seeing other groups of people out? Were you bumping into Chance's other relatives or any of Bailey's relatives? Were they out there looking also?
The only thing we've seen in the 3 days we were searching that river bottom, we walked miles upon miles, and we've seen one helicopter. Is what we've seen.
One helicopter.
Yes.
Never saw any other police walking?
No.
Never saw any other relatives walking?
No.
Bailey and her family has said that they were out searching. So you're telling me you were out searching and you did not see them out searching in that same area?
I did not see him searching where we were. No.
Okay.
Not during that time.
Okay, and that was the 3 days after?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you see anything in that 3 days that seemed unusual, or did you find anything?
No, didn't find a thing.
Didn't find a thing?
Mm-hmm.
Did you talk to people and ask people, has anybody seen this guy? Has anybody seen, did you have pictures of him to show people or anything
No,
like that?
we didn't talk to very many people. We just pretty much put miles down on the ground looking for him down the river.
Okay.
Is what we were worried about.
You were worried that what had happened?
That he may have fell in the river.
Okay.
That would be the only thing I could see happening to him, but even that is pretty odd that he would be able to do that. I don't know how to say that.
You would be surprised if he fell in the river, is what you're saying?
Yeah, we were hunting buddies and traveled a lot of country together. He's pretty sure-footed.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
a country boy that's comfortable in the woods.
yeah, we were. So
Okay.
I don't get where he went. I don't understand it.
Sure. So at that point, I assume that you communicated back to Bailey and the other relatives that you were not finding anything.
Yeah, at this point in time, we'd lost our jobs at the mine, and I hadn't worked for Blakeman yet, so my paycheck ran pretty short, pretty quick. So that was all I could afford, was 3 days down there looking for him.
Sure.
So at the end of that, we contacted Bailey and let her know that we were leaving. Got a text message saying thank you. That was
it. Okay. Now you had shared with me that there was something about a cell phone that was unusual.
Yes.
So to kind of step back a little bit, again, the day he's missing, there's something about a cell phone. Can you tell me that story again?
Yeah, at the point in time, I don't remember which day it was now. So the cell phone ended up on Chance's and Bailey's porch. And I never seen it. No idea. I called Bailey because I live 15 minutes from him and told her that a friend of mine had stopped by to check and see if Chance was home and found his cell phone.
So this must have been right after he was missing.
Yeah, this is everybody
right.
looking for him.
This is everybody. Okay, so he's just disappeared. Somebody goes to his house to see if he's there. He's not there, but there's a cell phone laying on the porch.
Yes.
Okay.
Really odd.
Just laying there.
Yes.
Okay. And so that friend calls you and tells you, hey, there's a cell phone on the porch. Did he take the cell phone? The friend that found it?
No.
He didn't. Okay, so you did what?
Well, I told him I was on my way into town. I'll take a look at it as soon as I get there. He left it there, and then on my way to town, I called Bailey and asked if there should be a cell phone laying around there, and she said no. So by the time I got there, she had already called a neighbor, and that neighbor came and got it and left town with it. So I don't understand what happened.
Left town with the cell phone?
Yes.
And do we have any idea whose cell phone this was?
No idea. When I had the friend's number, I talked to him, and he said it had nothing to do with Chance's disappearance and that he was already in Deadwood. So I got a little upset, wanted him to turn it into the police. I don't know if it ever did.
Okay. This is a strange story.
Very strange.
So I'm just imagining there's just a cell phone laying on a porch, someone's missing, and Bailey calls some neighbor and says, hey, come go grab that cell phone.
Yes.
Rather than allowing you to go pick it up.
Yes.
She knew you were on your way to go pick it up?
She did.
Why?
Okay, moving on. There's a part 2 of this. Hold on. I don't know what I think of Matt. I don't know everybody else. I mean, he seems to be answering the questions, but honestly, folks, this could be scripted. You know, I don't know this scenario. This is new to me too. That's why I'm bringing it to you guys. But yeah, that's the question.
I don't know him, but I don't have any reason not to believe him.
Right. That's what I'm saying. We don't have a reason to not believe him, but we don't know what the deal is at this yet. That's the thing, you know. I don't know, from what I've understood, that supposedly he's made a lot of money off of this whole thing and all that. I don't know exactly. I got to look more into it. I like I said, I struggled finding certain things. That's my question too. Someone just left their cell phone, left a cell phone on the porch.
And I mean, I heard that that cell phone has never been found or looked at, but
Okay. Well, the neighbor across the street that watched back. Okay, gotcha. Interesting. I'll be going into these podcasts that Voice recommended and watching a lot of these too, because we're going to follow up with this. Okay, Voice says that phone was found, JC. Oops, sorry. Why is he profiting? Did he have GFM or something? It's just the stuff that he's done with this. My understanding, and along with this case, SRB.
Very important interview regarding.
Hold on here.
Chance Englebert, this is his best friend, Matt. So, Matt, where do you believe Chance is?
That I don't know. I don't have a clue. Okay. He just wouldn't just disappear, is the odd thing. So,
do you have a theory on what's happened?
I don't have a theory. I don't have a clue what would have went down.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit more about some of the things that have happened since this happened. So does Chance still have a job waiting for him if and when he returns? And what are the circumstances of that?
Well, with Blakeman, it was kind of another odd circumstance that I was at work, and this was a week after, so far, probably within the week that Chance disappeared, that HR had come to me with Blakeman and asked me if there was a reason Bailey would have been wanting them to not hold Chance's job anymore. And she told me that Bailey.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing that was
which really
to me.
Red flags. I mean, worried me quite a bit.
I'm sorry. What did you say, hon?
The other thing that makes, now this is, I don't know if this is true, but I've heard it several times. But like 2 days after he went missing, Bailey supposedly said that she thought he was going to come home in a body bag.
Was it just a statement out of stress that she said that, or was it?
I mean, I think a lot of things were out of stress, but also like, I mean, we all know like things like that can, I mean, it happens, but it can also be,
you know, like the statement, like I'm worried that he's going to come home in a body bag. Not that I know he's coming home in a body bag type. You know what I mean?
well,
I mean,
yeah,
things
I
can
mean,
be
I
taken
think
out of
she said it
context.
in a way that, I don't know.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I mean, it can be taken one of two ways.
Of course. Yeah, I understand. All right.
So, and I don't know. The explanation she gave me for that wasn't the greatest. That she just.
Let me ask this, because it seems like she's gotten a whole lot of hell from a lot of people going through this. What reason would she have to do anything or have anything done to her husband? To be honest with you, she just had a baby. He is the primary income.
Yeah.
You know, they're young, so like that's what I mean. I don't know. What you could gain from it.
What I kind of wonder is not, maybe not, well, I don't know. I want to say that, like, I don't think she, in the family theory, okay, I don't think she had anything. She may not have had anything to do with it, but I do think some other family members may have. And I don't.
Her
Maybe
family.
she doesn't. Yeah, and maybe she doesn't know. But I think the argument on the golf course got a little heated, and I think
Okay.
there was a lot of putting down because he wasn't going to make as much money as he used to.
Okay.
But at least he was out there trying, you know,
Doing
like
something, sure. Okay. So that's what some of the working theory was, that I saw that when I was pulling some of this stuff up. With was it that's what supposedly the whole conversation with the in-laws was about, and her brother and stuff. Yeah, I understand. And again, that's all hearsay, guys.
But
so
that doesn't. But still, as I got to look at the other side of the coin too. That doesn't mean that they've done anything. That doesn't mean anything,
of course,
was done, whatever. And like I say, there's just a lot. I mean, no case is perfect, as we know, and there's just a lot of questions on all sides. And this one is just frustrating because there's been literally nothing found in 5 years.
And that's the thing there, as if there was, that's it, just like with what we've seen in Sebastian Rogers' case. Okay. I think that if 5 years, guys, it's not been a year or 6 months or 12 months or whatever. It's not been a short period of time. It's 5 years. I think law enforcement, if they had any kind of ideals in that ran towards that narrative, that they'd have done something would have been done at this point.
Oh yeah.
So, I can't hold any water with any of those theories, I guess we could say at that point. People, here's the thing, guys, in crime, especially within cases like something like this, we know that if there's been a disagreement, an argument, hell, somebody could sneeze on somebody and they're like, it was their fault, they did it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the way I went through this in Idaho. We've gone through this with Sebastian's case. I went through this in Kylie Rodney's case. That's why, like when Voice was saying about like Facebook rumors and stuff like that, and we don't hear facts. Unless you hear, and you know how we are, JC, with that. When you don't know facts that you hear come out of somebody's mouth, I discount it completely, in my opinion, because all it does is turn something back over. And I don't want to put any kind of negative spotlight on this woman who's been through hell and back because of this scenario already. She doesn't need any more negativity, in my opinion. So, I see exactly what you mean and what the things you've seen and heard and so on and so forth. But I just want to put that out there right out of the gate, guys, because this is just another version of any one of the cases we've seen where these types of things will happen wholeheartedly.
But once again, just like in Sebastian's case, I can't say there's been no evidence found of anything foul play. So that's,
right. That's what I'm saying. If law enforcement is coming out and saying that they don't see
I do think that he was either picked. I mean, and I know, people out west, I think, do think the family is suspicious.
I'm sure. Yeah. I've seen a lot of the article stuff I was reading earlier.
But I do, if it comes down to it, honestly, I do think that he was, my biggest theory is he was picked up or he's in the river and it was
that's what I think he might, based on the flooding, the scenario, being on foot, possibly being intoxicated, things like that.
I think something happened.
Or somebody grabbed him.
Or somebody, Yeah,
because of his stability possibly at that point.
And it's really bad to think about, but males can be trafficked as well.
Oh, of course.
And
or
even, you look at even, it doesn't matter the size of the person.
And that's very
so
nobody's
there's
too big for a gun. That's a fact. Okay.
Yeah, there's these really big misconceptions, I think, of only, small blondes are trafficked. You know what I mean?
Of course. No, they will take anything. They will take anybody that they want to take for any reason. So 100%.
And and there's a lot of places he could be. I mean, my My thing is, I think he's in Colorado. That's the closest I think he is.
Okay.
Other than that, the options are, endless.
Sure. Sure.
But
Yeah.
there's also a lot of land as well.
And just from what I've seen, I think, like you said, I think he's either in that river and that they need to dredge it and really give a good look to it within the silt and stuff like that. Or like I said, somebody that had something different on their mind may have grabbed him considering the circumstances, and maybe tried to take advantage of him, and it may have ended badly, sadly to say. So that's what my thoughts are.
Yeah. But would it be like, okay, so I guess my question goes back to the water. Like, what would, like, they would find fragments, correct? If they found anything?
As far as
Like
remains?
Yeah.
At 5 years, based on my experience, very possibly. Well, they could find skeletal remains.
Okay.
I can't imagine there'd be any kind of tissue left whatsoever at that point, especially being underwater. If he's been underwater at that period of time, yeah, they would find a skeletal base.
They would still be remaining though.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah.
Okay.
Bones can make it through some stuff.
Okay.
Now, if this was 30 years, maybe, but they're going to be water runs just like a shell. Water runs over the shells after a period of time, and it causes certain erosion and stuff like that. But we've found skeletal remains that were, within a 10-year period of time that were pretty intact.
Okay.
And it just depends on what happened to the body before it went into
I guess the main thing that I think of when I think of bodies found in water is Natalie Holloway.
Yeah, no, I got you. That was right.
But
absolutely.
There were also like sharks in that water.
Mhm.
Like there's no like sharks in the North Platte River.
No. I mean, there's fish that
There's fish, but
they will eat off tissue and other parasites and stuff like that. We'll get a hold of that, but at some point that's where it stops. And then there's going to be skeletal remains in that sense, and that's what you would find, in my opinion. Now they may not be intact; they may be scattered because of the water. You know what I mean? Now,
but
if
they're not going to be completely eroded, is what you're saying?
No, not after only 5 years. No.
Okay.
But like I said, they may not all be together either. That's the difference, and it also depends on what the body went through before it got to that point. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So there's that as well. And again, like I said, these interviews, it's just to show you who this guy is, who claimed to be his best friend and who took part in the searches and stuff like that. So it is oh Lord, I have it up here. What was the name of this river again?
It's
up
the
here.
North Platte River.
North Platte River. Thank you. Sorry about that. It's okay. SRB. All right, let's finish this here up and then move forward.
Was asking about other things that day, and that she said maybe Chance won't be found or something like that. It was a sad excuse for
Thank you,
what she did.
So you're telling me that his wife went to his employer and told the employer to not hold the job?
Along those lines, yes.
Okay, and so because of that, they went ahead and released that?
HR came straight to me and asked me about it.
Okay.
And I said no. Well, I contacted Dawn, told her.
Now see, you see how he just said along those lines? I don't believe that. I'm sorry. That's my opinion. I don't believe that that's how that went down with her. Again, the context of this woman's distraught. She's stressed. She could have had a whole conversation. There was nothing like what he just said, and he put it into that context and put it out that way. And I don't like that type of thing to happen for that reason right there. So that doesn't make any sense to me.
Her about it. She said no, hold his job, and I told her also.
Okay.
So they did hold his job up till, I'll bet, 2 months.
Okay, so I have heard from multiple people that another request that was made by Bailey, his wife, was regarding getting a death certificate issued, that she wanted to know if a death certificate could be issued. Were you a part of that conversation? Have you heard this?
I wasn't a part of any of that. So on that part, I've heard of it, and I've heard she did that, and I don't know that I'd say it would surprise me, but either way, I'm guessing she's trying to get some money for her and the baby, being, I guess, on 401k, asking to withdraw it so quick, and And
Okay, hold on. There was a 401k
yeah,
that he had through his work?
Yes.
Okay, and she, shortly after he disappeared, or at what point was she asking about the 401k?
I would say that was within the week too. She was
Okay.
trying to get this information.
Okay, for the 401k, okay. So that, your thought is what, because she's lost her husband's income, that maybe she's needing some money, or?
Yeah, I would say that was it. They just bought a new house. Chance had a brand new pickup, the baby. So she's going to need money from somewhere. I'm guessing that's what she was after.
Okay, very good. So if Chance were watching this interview and watching this, some people have said he just walked away, he's someplace and he doesn't want to come home. Let's say that he's on the internet and he tunes in and sees this. What would you want to say to Chance?
Boy, I don't know. Yes, teacher. I can't say that online, can I? Get home, Chance. God dang it. No.
Pretty emotional about it. You miss him.
I do.
Yeah.
So.
What can people do to help? How can the public help?
Well, like Katie said, I'd stick with her plan. Get a picture if you think you've seen it.
Okay.
Get it out there, spread it around. Somebody knows something.
Yes. Are the police doing enough, in your opinion?
I wish I knew that. I don't know. I would say no, but
okay.
Who knows what they're doing behind closed doors? So.
Okay. Maybe there's things happening that you don't know are happening. Okay.
Very true.
Okay. So you'd like to hope enough is being done, but you do wonder.
I do.
Yes. With every passing day, I'm sure that you become more concerned that there may never be an answer.
Yeah, maybe not. I don't know. We're not ready to give up anywhere close to that. So.
Yes. Yeah. You'll continue looking for him.
You bet.
Yeah. Very good. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me. Thank you so much. There are a lot of people that are very concerned about Chance, concerned about his family and the story. I would just like to encourage all of you that are watching this tonight to please continue to share Chance's story, his picture. There's a poster that I will put underneath.
All right, and that video was put out October 31st of 2019, just so you guys know. So, again, you know, I would just say to take a lot of this type of stuff, especially considering what this lady did, with a grain of salt until, you know, there's other facts that can either prove what she says or disprove. So that's just kind of how I am with that. Now, here's what I want to do. I wanted to bring this out to you guys. I want to do a little more digging myself and see what else I can find. I want to review these podcasts and bring this out. Maybe still have a part 2 of this from today to show you a little more in-depth detail of what's going on, what's gone on, what's happened. Because again, we're 5 years into this and there's nothing. That's crazy to me. There's got to be something somewhere, somehow of something, you know, and it just doesn't make any sense to not be at this point.
It's just frustrating because there's kind of like 2 ways you can take everything. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
It's
I can
just
agree.
And
yeah,
the most frustrating part
directions.
is that there's no evidence, like literally.
That's the most frustrating thing with this, in my opinion, is there is nothing. Other than, and there hasn't been any updates on this until 11 days ago when the so-called convenient food worker came out, or convenience store worker, I'm sorry, came out and made that statement. So,
and I think they've searched the area pretty well, but I think they need to go beyond the search.
agreed. And as it was stated, they need to
That would
go.
be, I think that would be a good idea. Like, why not?
They need to go downriver further than they have. Yes.
Yeah.
They definitely need to search that river, being that
Because
wasn't
how long was Riley missing? For 2 weeks?
I think it was a little bit longer than that, honestly.
I thought it was like
roughly about 2 weeks, about 14.
I thought it was like 14 to 16
yeah,
days.
I think it is 2 weeks.
And
14,
he was found
16
how
days.
many miles down the river? Like 10 miles?
Yeah.
That's
They
a
need to go
ways.
downriver a lot more. Well, see, that's what I'm saying. When, based on what Boyce said, this guy did his own search and he went upriver instead of downriver. That makes no sense to me, especially with flooding and the flowing.
I don't know if it was I don't know if it's because of the way the river was flowing that night, or
I don't know. You know,
I don't know. No clue.
Knowing where the scent stopped based on the
search.
canines, yeah, at that point right there on a footbridge like that, knowing there was flooding, what that doesn't make any sense to not go as far downriver as you can to see what you can pull up from the bottom of it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you just never know.
I just want to say, like, I feel awful for, you know, obviously for Bailey and stuff, but I feel really awful for his mom and dad.
Yeah. I agree. They should have checked more than 4 miles. That's facts, Robert. Agreed. Yeah, I feel bad for all of them, to be honest. I feel
Yeah.
bad for the baby and the wife, his mom, his dad, his family. I just completely.
Yeah.
Nobody needs to go through this ever in any situation, guys. So,
No.
but like I said, there's going to be a part 2 to this as far as Chance is concerned. Because I want to get into these podcasts, look at them, and get a little more detail. I just wanted to bring it to you guys, open your minds up to know that it's a scenario out there for those of you that didn't know about this. I see a lot of people did, which is good. But it's not been plastered like some of these cases, and it needs to be in some senses. So that's why I did this today with this.
I think it would be a good idea to also like put a billboard up, on like the interstate, like in Cheyenne, Wyoming, because Cheyenne is the gateway to Colorado.
Gotcha.
So Cheyenne would be a really good like place to, I mean, if you think he was picked up,
Yeah,
Cheyenne would be a good place to look and put a billboard up.
sure.
Just to be like, hey, we haven't forgotten, Chance is still missing.
Yes. No, that's a great idea. That is an absolute great idea. I don't know if there have been any
Also, a
billboards.
billboard anywhere would be okay at this point, just like Sebastian. Like he could be anywhere.
He could be anywhere, right? I agree with that for sure. So, like I said, guys, there's going to be a part 2 to this where we're going to go into a little bit more detail about some other things when I get more info on it. Like I said, this was just kind of a Kickstarter for this. The second half of today's show is about Thomas Matthew Crooks, who we all know is the shooter that tried to assassinate President Trump. We're just going to talk a little bit about him, learn a little bit who he is and what's going on and maybe why. You can maybe look at him and get an idea for yourself as to maybe why this kid did this. Kid, when I say kid, I don't say it lightly. He was only 20 years old, so very young and hadn't even started any kind of a life for himself. So that's the second part to what we're doing today. And like I said, we will be back on this Chance Englebert, and I will show his poster again just so everybody can see who he is again. His age, he would be 30 years old now. He's 25 years ago, or 25 when he went missing 5 years ago is what I'm trying to say. So
yeah, I'm gonna jump down because I'm gonna go eat something, but I will
Absolutely.
still be listening.
Thank you for joining me today. I appreciate you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Anytime.
I'll see you later.
Yes, ma'am.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. And thank you guys all for joining me today again. I appreciate you very much. All right, on we go.
Make sure we take back the.
Now I will. Hold on here. Let me throw this up real quick, just in case.
Trigger warning. Content may include sensitive or violent content. Not suitable.
I just wanted to throw that up real quick, just in case this were to trigger anybody. Because it can. Some people get upset about this kind of stuff, so.
2 Secret Service sniper teams could be seen on rooftops behind former.
Forgot to turn the speed down. Hold on. Sorry, guys. There we go.
President Donald Trump, less than 2 minutes before gunfire erupted at a campaign rally in Butler, Pennsylvania on Saturday. They appear to be getting into position facing the direction of the gunman who authorities say fired the shots that grazed former President Trump.
Look what happened.
Trump said a bullet struck him in the ear. Here's how the attack unfolded. President Trump was speaking from a stage located here. The suspected gunman was on the roof of another building less than 450 feet away from where Trump was speaking, with a clear line of sight. 1 minute and 32 seconds before shots are heard, we can see 2 Secret Service sniper teams moving into place on the roofs behind the former president. One on the south roof and one on the north roof, facing the direction of the shooter. It's unclear if they were repositioning or setting up for the first time.
And then the worst president in the history of our country took over. And look what happened to our country.
Moments before the shooting, we can hear nearby spectators saying they see someone with a gun. While Trump speaks, the Secret Service snipers are still facing the gunman's direction. We then see an agent on the north roof pick his head up just before shots ring out at 6:15. Secret Service agents rush to pull Trump to the ground. As they rush him off the stage, blood can be seen on the bleachers behind where Trump was speaking. A spectator was killed and 2 more were critically injured at the event, the Secret Service said. The suspected gunman, 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks, was shot and killed, according to the FBI.
So that's what happened with that situation. That's pretty crazy, guys. I haven't seen something like this happen since Ronald Reagan. You know what I mean? And there's some weird questions that go along with this for me in reaction times and things like that. Okay. Knowing how things are these days. So, you know, I got some questions, and I may talk about this tonight in the late show too. But again, to see this for what it is, it's kind of interesting to me. I don't know if this is the same one, or I think I might add 2 different versions of this. Hold on.
Gunfire erupted at a campaign rally for former President Donald Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania, Saturday.
Okay. So that was the same one there. Anyway, as I watched this, and then as I watched some other things that went on with this, I have my questions. And that's it. She said that the one appeared to be just setting up. Why are you so late to the show? You know what I mean? That's kind of my question at that point about that. All right, let me see here. Now, this guy here has a couple things he put out about this, and I thought it was kind of interesting. He used to be a sniper in the military, in the Army, I believe it was. And he spoke on this on Fox. So just a little something for you guys to check out. Did I do this again, you guys? Jesus, I'm sorry. Hold on. Oh, why is it doing this to me? I just reset all of this. Sorry. Let's try it again. All right, here we go.
Congressman and former U.S. Army sniper Corey Mills What kind of shot was this, Corey, from 130 yards?
Look, at the end of the day, this is a shot that your basic training boot camp soldier is requested to make within their 9-week period. This is one of the easiest shots, and they train all the way out till 300 or 500. And when I was doing the counter sniper, it wasn't with the United States Army. It was actually when I was with the State Department and was doing this exact thing, which is trying to look at going out with an advanced team, establishing what the perimeter is. And then as a sniper, when you would set up, you'd put together your range sketch or your range fan cards. And that would tell you where your 100, your 200, your 300, and you'd identify the areas of threat that you would be able to mitigate. And if there's multiple targets, you understand that your elevation and windage knob wouldn't have to be messed with, especially at 160 yards. You could literally just look, quickly glance, and know from the reference point, whether it be a building, whether it be a lone tree, whether it be a parking lot, maybe it's a road. Bottom line is that this is massive negligence to the point of me speculating on what was intentional and what wasn't.
Wow. When you're doing a site survey and you're seeing this rooftop not that far away, why did it look like the counter sniper team was a little surprised?
You know, I can only speculate, and we'll have to wait until the.
And this is what my question is with this whole thing. When they go out and do these rallies and stuff like this, especially with the former president that was already in office once, not to mention candidates and so on and so forth, all of these areas are scoped out. They're scouted out. They set up, you know, all of this stuff here is looked into. They set up their points where they need to have snipers at, where they need SS stand, Secret Service, sorry, and where they have to have everything. This is done days ahead of time, you guys. Okay, so how could anybody be surprised by something like this is what my question is. That's the first question. Second question is, how could anybody be just setting up now when they should have been set up hours before he came to do the rally? That's another question I have with this. And I'm not saying that they weren't, but wait, what? Breaking: Secret Service boosted protection of Trump after an Iranian threat, but it appears it's unrelated to Saturday's. Well, still. And I said this the other night. I said that now that this has been attempted, there's going to be other people that are going to try this as well. In my opinion. It just, these things happen in this way. You know, people get these ideas when they see it and like, oh, that's a good idea. Let's go do it. You know what I mean? Stupid people. So, but anyway, those were my first initial questions with this. And there's so many more. Again, guys, sorry about the audio thing.
The investigation comes out that they thought local law enforcement was potentially climbing up onto the roof when they saw a dark object on a light roof. But here's the issue.
Wait, you're saying maybe they misconstrued Crooks for local law enforcement?
It's very possible. I don't want to speculate until the investigation is over, but the bottom line is that if you saw someone climbing onto a roof that you hadn't authorized any clearance on, it's got a clear line of sight. It's exactly adjacent to the shooting where the president was sitting, and you're talking about a pop shot, and you've got people yelling, and there should have been comms. The minute that local law enforcement, who apparently had a rifle pointed on, there should have been an emergency frequent comms channel that they could have said, we have a shooter on the roof, shooter on the roof. Secret Service should have rushed the stage and immediately took the president and took him off, and then responded to the counter sniper. The shot should not have gone off. That is the failure in itself. You're supposed to be able to try and, you know, the best security is when you go in and you're actually able to prevent an incident, not react to an incident. Even if you would have left a law enforcement officer's patrol car in that parking lot with the lights on, that could have been a deterrent. But when you have nothing that is actually showing force protection, you're encouraging this. Look, I'm not sure about who the individuals are on the individual detail of the Secret Service, but I can tell you under this Biden administration, the one thing I've seen is massive DEI hires. And I can tell you, when you primarily go after DEI, you end up with DIE.
So when you have these counter snipers waiting until 8 rounds are fired, what accounts for that? After the first shot, you get a return fire immediately?
The minute that a shot rang out, they should have already been on scope. Your spotter should have already called the distance if you hadn't looked at your range card, and you should have immediately engaged. Okay. There should have been no reason to have waited a single second. Now, I talked to Eric Trump after the incident. Eric and I are both gun enthusiasts. We both shoot long distance. That right there is a pop shot. But he did say, I've gone out with the CS teams, and they are one of the best. He knows the service detail that's with them. They are loyal individuals who actually do care about the president.
Another thing to understand is that Thomas Crooks is not a trained assassin. He's not a trained sniper. He didn't go through military service. He didn't. This was a luck shot. Here's the thing, though. There are guns enthusiasts that are very good and well trained by themselves with guns. If Trump would have turned his head slightly at the wrong time, he wouldn't be with us today. That was luck. Okay, pure luck. So I'm just saying, Yeah, there was definitely undercover agents within the crowd and stuff like that. So yeah. But that's something else to remember too, is that this kid was not a trained assassin, a trained sniper, any of that kind of stuff, and still got to the point that he did with this situation. That's scary to me.
I can say that was relayed to me, but the bottom line is this is a massive security breach. This is a huge failure. At negligence is at best, but we have to figure out why something within 200 yards. Think about this, Jesse, 200 yards. That means that an average rifle that holds 1 minute of angle would hold a 2-inch grouping if you just shot it straight off the deck, meaning on a platform. So now you're talking about 160, which is 1.6 inches is what its grouping capabilities are. The average head is what? 6 by 8, shoulder to shoulder is 20 inches, head to waist is 40 inches, and President Trump's a very large man. This is a shot that within 5 minutes, I could teach you to make 9 out of 10 times. So this is divine intervention. This is the God having his protective hand and wearing Ephesians 6, the armor of God over the president, because this is right here, a millisecond or a millimeter and change, and this isn't an attempted assassination. This is an assassination of a president.
The devil was in Butler, Pennsylvania, but so was God.
Well, and I can say one more thing, if I may, which is that let us also remember that King Henry II went in and said, "Can no one rid me of this turbulent priest?" And his knights went out and killed the Archbishop of Canterbury because they thought that was a direct order. What do you say when President Biden says it's time to put a target on Trump? That, in my opinion, is the insightful rhetoric. That's the stuff that they would have went after for the J6 stuff. So why don't we have our own J13 investigation?
Yeah, there needs to be a full investigation on this, absolutely, and it needs to not be crooked like some of these other former investigations were.
That's right.
Politicians. Mills, you're the best. Thank you.
So they referred to that back to that statement from the Biden administration about there needs to be a target put on Trump. And of course, they weren't meaning it literally, I would hope, but people will take those things literally. Okay. That's the problem right there. So that is going to come back on them in that sense. I can almost guarantee it. So that is that scenario so far, guys. I just realized what time it was, so I'm gonna have to bring this down, but I am gonna pick this up tonight in the late show to cover the rest of this. We're gonna look more into Thomas Crooks himself, and some of the other the possibility of security breaches. Okay, and what the problem is. This can't happen. This just can't happen. This is the lead. What if that was the president? Okay. The leader of our country. What if that was him and something like that? People are going to see this stuff and think they can get away with it. And that can cause more attempts in different variations with other people. So thank you guys for joining me today for this, mostly for the Chance Englebert situation. And I did get a little bit of what's going on here with President Trump. We know that scenario. So guys, I'm looking forward to the late show with you guys tonight. We can finish up and learn a little bit more about the guy that did this, the young kid that did this, who's no longer with us. And of course, we talk about other things once we get through that in the late shows as well. So I hope to see some of you guys in there tonight. I appreciate you very much for joining us. Thank you again, boys, for the voiceless, for joining me today. And Miss JC, I appreciate you both so very much. Definitely, boys, for the input and the factual information you gave me. That means a lot to me. The rest of you guys, I hope to see so many more of you guys tonight, if possible, if you can make it. Other than that, for those of you that I won't see tonight because of hours or whatever, I promise you I will see you tomorrow, hopefully even earlier. That sounds wonderful, guys. Other than that, guys, have a great rest of your day. For those of you that I won't see tonight, have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your night. Much love to you all, and good night, and God bless. Bye-bye, guys. See you soon.